Kanu n'aha Chukwu okike abịa ama.
Ise. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land, and we are here live and direct. I welcome each and every one of you to once again today's edition of Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE, transmitting through Radio Biafra London. Today is Saturday, the 7th day of January. Once again, urge you to please switch on to listening or to listen to this hallowed platform. We have multiple ways. We have Radio Biafra satellite. You can listen to us through satellite frequency. You can also listen to us. I don't know whether how many of you have forgotten when some people used to even install satellites just to listen to Radio Biafra London. Have you forgotten? You know, one thing we are lacking as a people is consistency. That is one thing I see in Biafrans that is lacking. And that is one of the worst things way of listening to Radio Biafra. Because, you know, when you are searching for something, it is you that will make efforts. No matter how hard it is, you will make efforts in order to look for something that you need dearly. That is what we should understand. Also, you can download IPOB Community Radio. It is there. You can download even Radio Biafra Direct. You can also download TuneIn. You understand? Or community radio, or what do you call it? IPOB Community Radio. I mean, that is an app. Radio Biafra, yes, is an app. TuneIn is also an app through which you can get Radio Biafra, or you can be hearing from us. Also, we have our IPOB inquiry lines. These numbers are only solely on signal. Na signal kahano. Here with the direct line, please. If you direct, you get it. Only on signal. If you on WhatsApp, they are not there on WhatsApp. Please download Signal. Signal. The numbers are, the first one is +61 434 294 745. I repeat, +61 434 294 745. The second number is the second number is +41 77 906 9681. I'm taking it easy so that people that will take their pen, or you on your telephone, bring it out and write it down. The second number, all exclusively on Signal. These lines are nothing but only making reports, something you want the leadership to know, something that is going on in Biafra land around you, even emergency. If you see, you can report whatever that is a hotline. Let me repeat the second number. Only on signal. +41 779 069 681. Therefore, you have no excuse not to join in this movement. Before I continue, I will bring in Wada Marian to make her introductory statements before we move on. Wada, over to you, please.
Good afternoon, Mazi, Jonathan, sir. How are you today? And good afternoon, my fellow Biafrans. I believe this is my first entrance to the new year. If not, I'm going to say again, all of us, welcome back for the new year. New year, that's what they call it. That's the Roman New Year. We have our own, but I'm not going there. I just want to say welcome to everyone. As far as I'm concerned, it's another day. We just want to thank God. We appreciate Him for bringing us for us to see another day. And I am praying that we all will make the maximum use of today and each and every day we are fortunate to be alive. To make sure that our footprints are positively marked on this physical earth, so that the fullness of day when we exit will be remembered on the good side of history. Having said that, my names are Marian Hyder, and I'll be speaking from United States. I am originally from Umunoha. Umunoha is in Nnamdi local government. Umunoha is the home state of the deity called Igwekala. So in inference, I am Ada Igwekala. So welcome to you, all of us, as we position ourselves, prepare ourselves to listen to the lecture that are going to come out today. I wish us all good listening ears, and hopefully we have our frontal lobe positioned to assimilate and be able to critically make use of every information that's coming today. Thank you all. As I yield back to our great teacher of the moment, Mazi, Jonathan, I will yield from here. Thank you, Mazi.
We must continue. Before we go into the full-scale business of the day, as I said, the topic of our submission, upholding our values, part 10, the sub-caption, traditional belief systems. Before going into that, let me just go through just few news headlines, just very few. You know, in the zoo, it is Chibuanozo. There are these people that are being caught, that we are caught. They, according to the Nigerian police, say they confess that we sold her legs for 30,000 naira, hearts 50,000 naira. 8 confesses to murder in Ogun State. In Ogun State. You understand? You know, we read all this news, we don't block them, it is news from the zoo. Although the zoo, police, and military, they are known for lying anyway, but we read them. Police and military, they are known for lying anyway, but we read them. Bello Akim, Ale Biosu Adebayo, Fatai Rashid, and Fatai Jimo. Let me repeat their names. The suspected kidnappers that kidnapped and killed a mother, 26-year-old mother of 2 in Ogun State. Lukman Oladele, Kayode Ibrahim, Bello Akim, Alebiosu Adebayo, Fatai Rashid, and Fatai Jumo. These are criminals anyway. But what used to give us concern is, if this thing had it been that this thing happened in Biafra land, they will mention IPOB. That is so they will mention it's IPOB or ESN. And we used to ask, so before IPOB there has not been criminals in our land. What about all those political thugs? What about the criminals, normal criminals? Why is it that when you catch all these criminals in other parts of the zoo called Nigeria, they are given their normal name as criminals? Normal thing in a country, but it's not normal because Nigeria turned the citizens into monsters. But once it's in our region, our part of Biafra land, now before you know, Sahara reporters, Channels Television, all those Gota media, they will report is alleged suspected ESN. But here they don't mention anything about Amoteku or any other OPC. No. That is the outright hypocrisy and mischief, propaganda, calumny against IPOB and ESN that has been going on. You know, I used to say this, that Nigeria is being destroyed by the Fulani Caliphate. Their main weapon for destroying everybody is the hatred of Igbo man. The hatred of Igbo man is what the Fulani is using to destroy and slaughter everybody, to Fulanize everybody. If people want to speak, they will say, they will point to Igbo, hey, look at Igbo before they domineer you. They will dominate you also. Just behave like obedient servants. Let us kill you, no problem. But watch Igbos before they turn around. Don't allow them. Now the people, they will go down and say, as long as Biafrans are mentioned, Igbo is mentioned. Is their totem word of conquest. The hatred of Igbos, and it will destroy Nigeria. I'm telling you. Look at a little small population of Fulani destroying people, taking people's lands in this 21st century, sacking villages, slaughtering people, all east, west, north, south, a whole community, a whole indigenous people that is made up of 300 and something ethnicities. Only one tribe, one, very little, is destroying everybody. And these people are incapable of gathering together. Everybody is shouting, oh, they are killing us in Zamfara. Houses are crying. Nupe the same thing. TV are crying. All these things they are reporting, you know, they don't take precaution. They don't take, precautionary measure or proactive measure in order to prevent it. All this they are reporting. Yes, it's good. But they are waiting to get, at the end of this year, they will report how many being killed in 2023. Southeast worst hit is to give reports. They don't talk about to prevent what is happening. No. Once they are killing, they say, okay, just give us how much? How many are being slaughtered today? They say 70. Say, okay. Are you sure? You send us proof, video. Okay. They send. These are only the numbers that are, documented. Only the ones that are not documented are, which means this number is more than quadruple or even 10 times. They are not talking about prevention. No, our lives don't matter. That is the reality. Our lives don't matter. I don't know why my system is so wobbling. I don't understand why my system. They are not talking about prevention. No. Our lives don't matter. That is the reality. Our lives don't matter. I don't know why my system is so wobbling. I don't understand why my system. They are not talking about prevention. No. Our lives don't matter. That is the reality. Our lives don't matter. I don't know why my system is so wobbling. I don't understand why my system. They are not talking about prevention. No. Our lives don't matter. That is the reality. Our lives don't matter. I don't know why my system is so wobbling. I don't understand why my system. They are not talking about prevention. No. Our lives don't matter. That is the reality. Our lives don't matter. I don't know why my system is so wobbling. I don't understand why my system. Say these fanatic terrorists, they have killed and kidnapped over 70 residents in Nigeria capital, Abuja, since in 2022 alone. Now tell me what is the rationale behind the Nigerian military rampage in Biafra land while these Fulani terrorists are on the rampage? And they are planning, as I said yesterday, they are planning to invade Anambra. What I'm telling you is a fact. They use all this their headsmen, Fulani headsmen. They tell them, according to IPOB intelligence, the Nigerian military, they tell them to go and cause confusion in Anambra so that they will come in order to destroy things in Anambra. That is the plan. They come, this Nigerian military, they come from Obize. You know, it is with the complicity of Hope Uzodimma. That is what they are doing. That is what they are planning. So that is for your information. Now, the last two topics, the headlines. God has not shown me Nigeria's next president. Voter spirit leads you. As your spirit leads you. Pastor Adebayo urges Nigerians. No, God is no more showing him who the next president is. Because you know that once it all, they made many false projections. Because I don't call it prophecy, that is rubbish. People that are calling it, they will just wait and analyze and do their analysis. People will call it prophecy. I don't know, men of God. We pray. That is why God didn't show me clear. Ndoshi. And another his colleague, he said God's choice candidate will emerge after Nigerian presidential election. Bishop Oyedepo. Do you see how these criminals behave? They work on the brains of people. These are the, when people are castigating what we are doing about this thing they brought in our land, I don't know the morality or your reason. I don't know, honestly. When people cannot understand the harm, these people are the reason why Nigerians are dead body. I don't know. These are the reasons. These people you are calling men of God, they are the reason why Nigerians are dead body. So that you accept everything as the will of God. Whereas in a republic, Because republic means for the public. Nigeria being a so-called democracy, a republic, power belongs to the people. Do you know that the people are more powerful than the constitution? Do you know that? The people, they are more powerful than the constitution, the country's constitution. The republic, the people can rise up today. I will talk about it during the day. I will preach about the decision of yesterday, focusing on government. People are more powerful than the constitution, because in every constitution of a republic, democracy, it starts with "we the people." Very powerful phrase. We the people is more powerful. People can rise up today and say, to hell with the constitution. They invade and chase out the whole politicians and behead them. It is their right. Because no person can be. Where will the court be? Who will be the judge to come and stand the people? Who will be the House of Assembly? Don't you see how people rises up in order to go and chase out politicians, even kill them? You can't do nothing about it. Last time, I think, is it in Sri Lanka? The whole politicians' house, they were burnt by the people, and they went and invaded, just even killed them. You can't do nothing about it. Last time, I think, is it in Sri Lanka? The whole politicians' house, they were burnt by the people, and they went and invaded. Rigged. The people they have rigged into office as usual. Now everybody will tell, no, it is the will of God. We have prayed and God have taken nominated his president. So go down. People, they are Nigerians. You know, the brains are worked. Their mentalities have been consumed, held hostage by these people. To tell you that, oh, it's God that brought him. Don't worry. Is God. So they put them back, push them back to stone cold dead bodies they are, to remain there. Don't react. Everything said, how yes, you call them, oh yeah, praise God. Don't worry, another time God will do it. If God is choosing Nigerian president, why are people now going to take PVC in order to vote? You know, Nigerians don't ask questions because they are relegated into stone cold dead bodies. I'm telling you. Very, very sad indeed. So Oyedepo say is God. God that is choosing Nigeria president. Why not Nigerians now say we are no more voting? Let God, let's see how God will choose. For you to see that what they are doing to Nigerians is, you know, crime against humanity. These criminals that call themselves men of dog, they are committing crimes against humanity. Whereas other countries, the people are rising up in order to challenge evil, because it is the people that have to rise up to build the country. This in Nigeria, they are men of God. Say no, anything, just give thanks to God. Something that the Europeans experienced. Whenever the people want to rise up, the bishops of the old medieval Europe will come and say, no, don't challenge God. Challenging the rulers, it means challenging God. So they will cool down. Oh, how can you challenge God now? Touch not my anointed. That it is God that put the ruler there. Wherever you see the religious, so-called religious leaders or elites going supporting the government, know that their people are slaves. That is it. Well, I don't know whether you want to say something. You come in, please, because Nigerians are provoked. They disgust me, because before with their men of so-called men of dogs. Well, please go on.
Yeah, Mazi. I would rather wait till the men. Let's go to the mentor, because when you talk about this religion, which is what we have been trying to hammer, is really it's difficult, because it's like philosophy is a belief. So we'll continue to take a crack and bite at it, and hopefully we are making inroads. Because the question becomes, somebody is telling you something, they never come to pass, they never come to be. The individual that is telling you that God is the one choosing Nigerian president, the same person is not leaving his pastors to be chosen by God. The same person is not, because why am I invoking this? Or why did I state that? The Oyedepo, all these that the GOs, when they start their churches, the same game they are playing, mind game they are playing with the population is what they do, even in their niches, which is their churches. They will tell the congregation that the church belongs to God and the church belongs to all of them. Because they want you to contribute money when it comes to building fund. It got to a point in my life before I left Christian church. Any church I go and they start collecting building fund, I walk away from it. That was when I discovered what they were doing. They never finished building. They continue to build. When they finish one building, they step to another. So let me not digress too much. So the building, they will tell the people, even when they build schools, this private school, they tell the people it belongs to us. People will continue, the congregation will continue to fund the church, the building or whatever it is. The truth is that this is their private estate, private business. Why do I say that? Because you will see when they start having their children, one, they will send their children overseas or the best schools to educate them. The poor masses that are contributing the money are going to the local community schools where there is no standard. They are impoverished schools. That's where the people contributing money go to. So this that the GO will send his children abroad. Remember, he continued to tell them that they should not worry about the earthly things. They should focus on heavenly things. Meanwhile, they will send their children to the countries that are secular in nature. Now, when their children graduate, and that the GO is old now, and want to transfer power, he doesn't ask God, he doesn't pray to God to choose one of the elders who have been in that church, faithfully contributing, faithfully.
One of the elders that have been there even before the son, before even he married.
Was born.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So the same elders will be there. God will not choose them. That the GO will bring his child who has been overseas to come and take over. They will not pray for God to anoint like Samuel. To anoint the person that's going to be the next. No, it's going to be his child. The same child that's schooled in a secular setting, who never went to church, probably have no business, doesn't care about going to church, will come and take over. The same that the GOs, you hear them, they will tell you that women are not ministers. But if that the GO never had produced a male child, when he dies, his female child will not come and take over. That time, a woman can be a minister. The same that the GO that will tell you that a woman is not supposed to be on the pulpit to preach, but his wife will be the first lady preaching on the pulpit. Mazi, what I'm trying to say that our people don't ask questions. They don't ask questions because these things are in plain sight. This is the same thing the politicians are doing. That is why I said, let's get to the main subject. Because these things are in plain sight. You ask yourself, like you always say, Mazi, what is the problem? Call them dead bodies. These things are glaring in our own eyes. Why can't people ask simple questions? Why are you telling me that these things I should not pursue the earthly things? I should forget about taking care of myself because my reward is in heaven. But your children are partakers, benefactors of all the same things. All those things you're telling me to ignore and neglect. Mazi, let's go into the main subject.
Of course, these are criminals. They are the people that have been relegating in Nigerians in They are the people that have been relegating in Nigerians in I don't know. but it's going and coming, but it's back. So the topic of my submission, of our submission today, being the 7th day of January 2023, Saturday, Obochinkwo, our series of Upholding Our Values Part 10, Traditional Belief Systems. Now, let us continue. Belief, because we have to start from the scratch. Before talking about belief systems, let us, because all these things are, language. Sometimes the difficulties we have is because of the language. That is why, if Biafra defining belief first, that is where I'm going to start. Traditional belief systems. I want to define belief first. Belief is an acceptance that something exists or is true, especially one.
Okay.
So, as I was saying, reality, this traditional belief system is a set of beliefs or principles that help us interpret our everyday, understand the sense of the world. Because you understand the world through your everyday reality. You cannot understand it through the story of another reality far away. A belief system is a network of beliefs that we each hold about what is or should be, right and wrong, and what is or should be, true and false. It is just like myth, folklore, etc. Akụkọ ifo. You understand? So it's a set of, but it molds us. The time we are little, our parents used to tell us about tortoise, the king of animal, the smartest of an animal. Is a myth, it's folk tale, akụkọ ifo ka ọ bụ, but it teaches you things that you should understand. It makes you see things, you visualize all these things and you learn. That is it. So that is why it says it molds. Though it is a myth, it's a network of beliefs. Beliefs have no proof. Started it or devised that story. It's very brilliant. It's just like a writer, a book writer. Chinua Achebe. You'll be reading things fall apart. Once you are reading it, you continue visualizing. You think that it is reality. You will see in your head, you are seeing everything. But it is something that is being concocted by one person in a very brilliant way. It could be acted as film, like James Hadley Chase. Our values, we are talking about traditional belief systems. Now, in contrast to belief systems, there is the opposite, which is knowledge. Knowledge is facts, information, and skills acquired through experience or education. The theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. That is knowledge. That one is different. You could surpass somebody or a group of people with superior knowledge, but there is never a superior object. That is knowledge. That one is different. You could surpass somebody or a group of people with superior knowledge, but there is never a superior object. That is knowledge. That one is different. You could surpass somebody or a group of people with superior knowledge, but there is never a superior object. That is knowledge. That one is different. You could surpass somebody or a group of people with superior knowledge, but there is never a superior object. That is knowledge. That one is different. You could surpass somebody or a group of people with superior knowledge, but there is never a superior object. That is knowledge. That one is different. You could surpass somebody or a group of people with superior knowledge, but there is never a superior knowledge. That one is different. You could surpass somebody or a group of people with superior knowledge, but there is never a superior. They are trying to convert you into their belief system, which they cannot prove. It's not knowledge. Therefore, why wasting your time trying to tell me, to convert me that there is one man very far away in Nighting Brigidim that wants us to go to heaven? It's your belief. You are trying to convert me into your own stupidity, your ignorance. If it is knowledge, I can bow. If a carpenter now will start telling me, no, look, if you take this 1 meter wood and join it with another mahogany, you put one nail, he will be calling something he know. If a welder, the same thing, because this is knowledge. Understand me? That is the reality. Unlike belief. If you come to tell me that, oh, God has 10 heads, you want me to follow you to believe that God have 10 heads. Another person will come and say, no, God have 15 heads. The other one say, no, God have 5 heads. And everybody is defending his own belief. Now, if you are fighting, if you start contemplating to fall, and maybe you believe that God have 1 head, why will you fall so low to start accepting that, oh, no, God has 10 heads? Why? Because there's no need, because all I believe, nothing is proven. That is what I'm trying to say. You understand? All is like meats, akoko ifo. The same way, the same thing. The same way Chinedu, when he wrote his Things Fall Apart, if you are reading it, oh, you see reality. Oh, but it's a story. For a long time. Traditional belief could mean following or belonging to the customs or ways of behavior that have continued in a group of people or society for a long time. When we wake up in the morning and call upon our ancestors as part of the invisible custodians of our land, people that brought us in this world, that is our ancestors, they cared for us, discovered the food we are eating and enjoying today, to continue supplicating to the Almighty for us in the spiritual realm they are. It makes sense to us, though it might not make sense to other people in another place, but for us it makes sense to us. That is our belief. It also gives us the sense of connection to the ancients of our lineage. Whether true or false, there is this sense of reverence, respect that goes with our culture. It is part of our belief system, which is synonymous with or to the environment and happenings in our part of the world. That's it. But when foreigners came and told us that we should disconnect with our ancestors because they are evil, and start calling their own ancestors to help us protect our land, it means deception. They want us disconnected from our protective ancestors and land, which is part of mental conquest, worse than physical conquest. It is an imposition of superiority. Remember, I told you, there is never superior belief. Never. You will have superior knowledge, yes. Because knowledge is experience, is something you prove, something you see. You can prove it. Belief, there is no belief you can prove. All is telling you what they know, what they are not what they know, what they believe, what they think. They can fantasize. That is why in Nigeria, in our land today, you see somebody will wake up one morning and say, God, call me. I have a call. It's his belief system. In some places, they would look at him as a mad person. How can God call you? God call you to do what? Before you know, he rent a room and start a church with his wife and children. Before devising a means of conning other people. You see, that is belief. His belief. He just wake up and say, God, call me. How can you know? How can you prove it? There is no proof. He have right to do that. As I told you before, Pastor Suleiman has the right to pray that Russia will stop bombing Ukraine. But did they stop? He has the right. When he's doing it, maybe the photo can read to Russians. Russians will be looking at the man as a mad person. But the followers in Nigeria will be seeing him as a great man of God. Do you see the difference in belief, between belief and knowledge? Knowledge, you can surpass somebody with knowledge, but you can never surpass somebody with belief. Any person can believe what he wants to believe. No belief has any proof. You understand? Oh, God have 10 heads. Yes, okay. It's you. No problem. It's your belief. Oh, me, I believe that God will have one head. Okay, it's my belief. No problem. Why should you come to convince me? Try to convince me that God has 10 heads. Do you know God? How can you prove it? Let us stop rigmaroling in abject ignorance. In this 21st century, when you see any person that is, you want to convert you, a Christian to Christianity or to Islam, ask them, this your belief, how can you prove it? It's a very big question. No, just throw it out. They will tell you, oh no, you can question God. How? Where is God? Why? How? So believe what you believe. Leave me to believe what I believe, because no belief is inferior or superior. All beliefs are equal. The same way we believe in tortoise being the smartest of animals when we are small, but it is a false tale, it's a myth, but we learn from it. We can learn from it. That is one takeaway. You understand? So when foreigners came and told us that we should disconnect with our ancestors because they are evil, and start calling their own ancestors to help us protect our land, that is simple deception. Because they want us disconnected from our protective ancestors and land, which is part of mental conquest, worse than physical conquest. It is an imposition of superiority. Christianity we are practicing today is some people's traditional belief system. Do you know that? Which is imposed on us, and we swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. Know it. Christianity, you are fighting for, in order arguing. It is some people's belief system. It is the way they see the world. Do you understand? So do not kill yourself for something that is foreign to you, something that you cannot prove. Please. That is how the Europeans liberated themselves from the mental slavery they were in before, and now converted, made Christianity, give it its space. It remained there just for identity, Christian Europe, nothing more. It becomes their value because they converted their own medieval system of seeing things and worship into what you see today as Christianity. Let it enter your head, please. Stop fighting for something that is foreign to you. You cannot prove nothing. Belief system, there is no superior belief, there is no inferior belief. All belief have no proof. It is only knowledge that has proof. That is what I'm trying to say. The Christian Europeans justified their conquest. Before I bring one in, let me continue this just slightly. The Christian Europeans justified their conquest and colonization of other cultures by labeling them savages, pagans, cannibals, etc., that needed to be converted and saved. But historical facts reveal that they were the real savages and cannibals until recent time. You understand? You know what we do here, we bring out historical facts for you to judge. If your frontal lobe is working perfectly, is developed, you will understand it. You will go and research in order to know the truth. What we promote here is knowledge, not belief. You understand? In medieval times, European cultural enemies were commonly depicted as cannibals or giants, especially to justify territorial invasion and conquest, argues Geraldine Heng in his book Cannibalism, the First Crusade and the Genesis of Medieval Romance. Is a researcher. Witches, Jews, savages, Orientals, and pagans are conceived as cannibals. Now, why were the Jews that supposedly Judaism that was supposedly was the birthplace of Christianity hated, demonized, and slaughtered by the Christian Europeans? Ask yourself why. It shows that Christianity brought by the Europeans is simply the European belief system modified to suit their evil agenda of conquest and colonization. Do you understand? Christianity shouldn't have existed as a separate religion if not for the Roman imperial power. But that shouldn't be our headache. We shouldn't be arguing for them, please. It's not where I'm going. I'm just making it as a referring to it as a fact. We should be concerned with restoring our own belief system. Do you understand? There's something I want to play here. I want to play here. Let people listen, please. I don't know whether I can get it right now. Let people get it. Whether I can get it right now. There is something. Okay, I will get it. I promise. I will get it. I've seen where, I've known where I stored it. Please just hold on for a few seconds. Just hold on for a few seconds. I will get it. Okay, yes. Just listen, please. Listen. He's a Jewish preacher. A Jewish preacher. Please listen. A Jewish preacher talking. Listen, please. Listen. And listen attentively. Few seconds.
Jewish people considering Christians as idols worshippers. Why? Because Jewish people, first of all, they don't know Christianity. The majority of Jewish people, they don't know. We've never been taught Christians' rules and to know if it's wrong or right. Like, we just know that it's wrong. That person is saying, that man was no man. He was not a man. He was God. It's God. He was God and He is God and He will always stay God. For us, simple Jewish people that are following halakha, that's a mistake. Based on the teachings and learnings I've been exposed to, tradition that we inherit from our ancestors, you can never say that something else except for God is God. You cannot.
Do you hear this Jewish preacher? There's something he said. So he said, for something they inherited from their ancestors. Now, I used to ask people, did you inherit Christianity from your ancestors? Christianity is just recent, from during colonization. But people always refer to their ancestors, something they inherited from their ancestors. The Jewish, they say they don't even know Christianity. It's supposed not to exist. That is why I put it, I say it is their argument. What concerns us is to restore our natural belief system, our own belief system. That is what concerns us. But I played it for reference. For people that are fighting, oh God, you are praying to Jesus, God of Abraham, God. The people that you are praying, they say they don't even recognize this thing you are praying to. They don't recognize it. That there is something they inherited from their ancestors. That key word, from their ancestors. What did we inherit from our ancestors? Only demonizing them. Every other race, they are eulogizing their ancestors, calling on them, because in order to continue guiding them, it is only we that we are programmed to hate and demonize our ancestors. Don't you see that we have problems in the head, for goodness sake? I'm telling you, even white people, why do you know why our lives don't matter to them? Because they say if you can turn people's head in order to hate their ancestors, to demonize and start casting out ancestral spirits, that is the cause of our problems, our ancestors. Whereas the people that caused that ancestors, European ancestors that committed horrible crimes all over the world, they are being revered by their people. They send their warning Subushi, so they are inferior. Just kill them. Just kill them. No problem. You understand? When you come to the European hypocritical claims of Africa, savagery and cannibalism, acts of cannibalism are sprinkled throughout many religions and historical documents, such as the reports that cooked human flesh was being sold in 11th century English markets during times of famine, says J. Robinson, a historian at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Do you understand? This man is still alive. You know, we are bringing you hidden things that they will never teach you in the mainstream. They call us, oh, our people, we kill twins. Oh, we are cannibals. We were cannibals. Europeans came to save us and they opened our eyes. They developed. That is rubbish. They are the real cannibals, savages. It's a historical fact which they have been hiding. That the European, acts of cannibalism are sprinkled throughout many religious and historical documents, such as the reports. It's a reports, not a report. Many reports proven that cooked human flesh was being sold in 11th century English markets during times of famine. You understand? However, the world's first cannibal incident reported by multiple independent first-hand accounts took place during the Crusades by European soldiers, Robinson says. Who are the Crusaders? The Christians that came, European Christians that came to deliver you, save you, a savage, a cannibal that eats human flesh. But historical fact which they are hiding has it that they are, many reported by multiple independent first-hand accounts took place. Cannibalism took place during the Crusades by European soldiers. The first-hand stories agree that in 1098, after a successful siege and capture of Syrian city Ma'ara, Christian soldiers ate the flesh of local Muslims. Are you hearing it? Today you are going crusade as that is how they manipulate you, garbage in, garbage out. What they put is what is coming out from you because you are naive, you are ignorant. They tell you that according to historical facts proven, this is knowledge, it's not belief. In 1098, after a successful siege and capture of the Syrian city Ma'ara, Christian soldiers ate the flesh of local Muslims. By the 16th century, cannibalism was not just part of the mental furniture of Europeans. It was a common part of everyday medicine from Spain to England. Initially, little bits of pulverized mummies imported from Egypt were used in prescriptions against diseases. But the practice soon expanded to include the flesh, skin, bone, blood, fat, and urine of local cadavers, that is the dead body, such as recently executed criminals and bodies dug up illegally from graveyards, says University of Doha Richard Sogg, who published a book in 2011 called Mummies, Cannibals and Vampires: The History of Corpse Medicine from the Renaissance to the Victorians. Are you in Esokwe? Are you listening? All these things, they hit it so that you cannot know, so that you continue running from pillar to post, defending the indefensible. What they put inside your head, garbage. You know, as I said, every belief is the same. No belief is more than the other because there is a secret space. There is a secret staircase which God revealed only to me. A secret staircase that will lead to that 20-story building in heaven. It's my belief. How can you dispute me? A secret staircase that will lead to that 20-story building in heaven. It's my belief. How can you dispute me? Continues all the way into the 20th century. In 20th century, in 1910, a German pharmaceutical catalog was still selling mummy, says Louis Noble, who also wrote a book on the topic called Medicinal Cannibalism in the Early Modern English Literature and Culture. Why Europeans ate mummy? You know mummy, embalm the dead body. That is what is called mummy. Why Europeans ate mummy? To cure their physical ailments. The same culture sent missionaries and colonists to other parts of the world to cure or deliver the indigenous people of their purported barbaric cannibalism, some of which was entirely fabricated as a rationale for conquest. Baldler says, it is certainly possible that Europeans were consuming more human flesh at the time than people in other parts of the world. It's a historical fact. The ancient cannibals that mutated into a very civilized Europeans of today show that human beings, irrespective of culture and tradition, could mutate and change with time through their own natural values. Moada, please come in, please. Moada, bata no kua. There we
I'm going to start by you bring in a lot, but there is something you said. I'm going to start from there. First of all, the topic today we are focusing squarely on values, belief systems, which of course beliefs are local and are based on local norms and values, and as such which is what you try to explain, bringing it in as simplified as I can. So beliefs are local. They are local. We must understand that, and are based on local norms and values, and as such has no set international yardstick to measure anyone's belief. Unlike knowledge, Knowledge can be measured because it has a standard, a yardstick you can use, either by the quality of the mind of individual, which where when we begin to invoke the development of one's frontal lobe, or a frontal lobe that is not impaired or corrupt, or has a full development nourished through nature and nurture. You know, so you can measure one's ability to reason, critically think, critically adjudicate issues. So it's measurable, you know, which is knowledge. Or academia. Somebody goes to school, you can look at the achievement. This is knowledge, you can measure it. So knowledge, when you place knowledge, you want to place knowledge and belief side by side. You can say that knowledge is an empirical experiment you can measure. You can see the variables. Unlike belief, which is more like pseudoscience. What do I mean? Pseudoscience, you cannot verify it. But pseudoscience has a place. Because through pseudoscience or folktales, which is what you invoked, folktales is more like pseudoscience, is more of belief. What do I mean by pseudoscience? Pseudoscience are things like, some people look at things like all these prophecies, things like astronomy, even though somebody like me do not really, I believe that astronomy is a pure science. But some hardcore scientists look at stuff like that as pseudoscience. But it has a place because it's through pseudoscience that theorems are developed. When you are dealing with pseudoscience, which is the belief, which are what beliefs, which are what people's norms and values like folktales invoke, what their job is to provoke you and I to say, okay, if this society believes in this particular value, can it be provable? That's when you subject it to science, empirical science, to experiment to prove them.
Mazi, sorry, I'm not interjecting. Just 1 second.
Go ahead.
Just what you said. The worst part of it is that when what you say, you are right. Because scientists even has been trying to prove many things that are written in the Bible, to ask questions, to prove scientifically, which is good. But do you know, an average Nigerian Christian, when you say this in his or her presence, that how can you prove it? Let us try to prove. He will tell you, are you questioning God? Why? Don't believe. He wants you to remain a buffoon that you are not supposed to be. Do you see the danger that we are facing? Go on, Wada, go on.
Yeah. That is why we continue to encourage people to ask questions. When I use that, I know what I'm saying. I'm not asking people to challenge one's belief, but ask questions, because every experiment, everything you called scientific breakthrough came from pseudoscience. That it came from a belief. The belief is what is going to trigger you to begin to formulate hypotheses. From your hypothesis, you go to theory, hypothesis theory, and then where you subject that particular belief or that particular knowledge, because you have to conceive the belief, or you look at the belief of the people. If people say that this is so, this is their belief, then you begin to ask questions. That's theory. That's hypothesis. Is it possible? Are these things possible? Is it doable? You subject it to empirical experiment. If you can be able to come out with variables that you can always put in, and then you come out with the result, it becomes science. There is no scientific result that did not start from belief. If you don't believe that this particular herbs or plants or whatever you call it, prayer, can cure a disease called cancer, you can't even start to go into experiment. The thing that triggers that individual is to say, maybe if I take A and B and Z and add together, I'm talking about chemical components now, or I'm talking about herbs and roots. If I can bring them together, they can be able to give me a finished product I can use to cure this illness. That's what research is all about. You must have that belief or form that question, which is hypothesis or theory in your head, before you begin to go. So anything that cannot be subjected to empirical experiment is never truth. It doesn't mean it's a lie, but you must get there. Before men, I'm going to use some of the things you referenced. Before men were able to put human being in outside the space, they ask questions. What is out there? Is it possible to get there? How do we get there? That's the curiosity that makes you to begin to go into research, and then research brings empirical results. Having said that, too, what are we saying? There's no belief that is superior than the others. The only thing is when you subject that particular belief to experiment, then you can come out on the other end and say it is a statement of fact or it is truth. Just like our I continue to reference him, Mazi Nnamdi. He posed a question to us. He said, you know, but I have taken it and I'm using it a lot of places to make my argument. Just like you said, Mazi. I'm even I was glad to hear you talk about Hadley Chase. I am a student of James Hadley Chase. Maybe that is why we, you know, you and I can be able to reason, you know, have some places we can agree or reason alike. I'm a core student of James Hadley Chase. I read all James Hadley Chase books. I can boast about that. I have the collection. So Mazi Nnamdi said, truth stops where belief starts. Truth stops where belief starts. Because truth is something that is, you can look at it tangible, something that you can quantify, something that you can verify. It is there. You don't have to speculate. You don't have to believe. It is there. But anything you are not able to prove that is truth or ascertain the truthfulness of it, then you'll be subjected to believe, which is faith, which is hope. Because it doesn't mean that what you're hoping for or the belief is wrong, but it's a state the way they want to place you, where you can begin to ask questions, carry out investigation, research, whatever you call it, to prove whether that your faith, that your belief, that your hope is provable, can bring it to be tangible, something you can say 1 + 1 is this, then it becomes the truth. Now I don't want to go and say too much here now, because we are going somewhere. You know, another thing you said, Mazi, I ran into about this belief, religious belief and stuff like that. And I keep telling people I'm not against any particular religion. For me to come to where I am as Marian T. Hyder, I have read many religious books. Many. These two religions are not the only religion on the physical earth. There are well over 500 religions. I'm not claiming to have read 500, but at least I read 11 to 12. And I came to the deduction and conclusion that no particular belief, when you ask it from the point of view of the people who have that belief, is superior to the other. Just like an Anambra man, let me use our local understanding. If you ask an Anambra man today, Anambra, which is one of us, which of the soups you people prepare, you will say is the best. He will tell you Ofo Onugbu. You ask somebody from Owerri, he will say Ofo Okashi. You ask somebody from Abia, Umuahia, he will say Ofo Achara. This is their belief. Now the argument becomes, from the person that from Anambra that is going to invoke Ofo Onugbu, that is the best. Is he telling a lie? From his point of view, he's not telling a lie. But that does not mean that the person from Umuahia, through his value system and his belief that Ofo Achara is the best, will agree with him that Onugbu is the best. The highest he can tell you that, yeah, Onugbu is tested, but my Achara is the best. That does not nullify any one of them to be the best or be the bad or what. That's religion when you look at religion from that point of view. Because even the voice note you played, I listened to that and I chuckled when I saw it on Facebook. The Jewish man is telling you, we don't even recognize Christian religion. Because the person you are referencing to, we never saw him as a deity. We never saw him as a God. He was one of us that lived. You know? Now, our people are invoking the God of their ancestor, and then they invoke Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. I have a question for them. Do they understand? Do they realize that the God of Abraham is the same God the Muslims are invoking? Do they understand that? Because Ishmael came from the loins of Abraham. So if you're invoking the God of Abraham, let them remember that when Ishmael was in the desert with the mother Hagar, the Bible, the same Bible that kind of said, Hagar prayed to the God of her master, the God of her master, who all this, the God of this church, the God of chosen. I asked him, and then somebody would say, God called me. I used to argue with people, but it came to a point when I got this understanding. I said, you know, who am I to argue with anybody that said that they were called by God? My argument has always been, or when I came to this enlightenment, I said, okay, if you say you're called by God, I'm not going to argue with you. But my question is, which of the gods are you talking about? Because you're saying you are called by a God. That's your God. Your God does not mean my God. Your chief is not my chief. So if anybody is telling me they're called by a God, I'm not going to disagree with them. But I would like them to know that the chief or the God you're talking about, I do not know. I have my own God. It just I'm going to disagree with you, but I don't have to agree with you. Why? Because I was not in your dream with you. I don't even know that you had the dream. That's your belief. I'm going to respect that because maybe you had a dream and in your dream you were in DSS dungeon. Is that a reality to me? No. It may be your own reality. This is religion. I want us to understand that. Now, let's talk. Why I'm bringing this, I had an opportunity. There was a lady I met recently. And when I met her, you know, people are saying Happy New Year, Merry Christmas and stuff like that. When she said Merry Christmas to me, I didn't say it. I kept quiet. I ignored it like I didn't hear her. Because I try not to be rude. That's me. So she said it again. I said, thank you very much. I don't want to go there. She said, why? I said, because I'm not a religious person. She said, oh, yeah. You're not a religious person. So you believe in Jesus Christ. I said, you don't want to open that door with me. She insisted. Want to tell me about Jesus, and I use an F word on Jesus. I said, stop telling me about this effed up individual. I'm not interested. She got mad. Why would I use the F word on Jesus? I said, wait a minute, young lady. That she said is her personal savior. I said, okay, that's your personal savior. I said, let me tell you how rude you people can be. You don't know me. You met me. You trying to get into this conversation with me. I told you, stop. Don't do it. But you want to tell me about your Lord and Savior. Did you try to inquire from me who is my own Lord and Savior? What makes you think you can talk to me about your Lord and Savior and I cannot stop you, or I said, do you want me to tell you about my own Lord and Savior? Because my own Lord and Savior is Chukwakika Biama. She said, let's stop. I don't want to hear. I said, do you see now? But you were willing for me to listen to your personal Lord and Savior. He may be your Lord and Savior based on your experiences or whatever. I'm not going to dispute you, but this is my own Lord and Savior based on my own, experiences and life, whatever. So you respect me, I respect you. But if you are willing, if you want me to listen to your own, you must be willing to listen to my own. That's where I have a problem with them. But let's go to culture, which is the main thing we are doing today. I prepared one or two things. And I'll start my argument today by saying, what is culture? I know you have tried to define it, Mazi. What is culture and how I said it, what is culture and how it shapes our values and behaviors in the political mindset? Because that is really where I want to touch. He said the word culture means people's lifestyle and the way they perform certain things. Various groups of people can have various cultures. Culture is transferred to the next generation. It is transferred. It's an ongoing thing. Because this is where we drop the ball as a group of people, as a people. We stopped transferring our culture when the colonial masters had contact with us. There was a stay. There was a disrupt. There has been a disrupt, as a matter of fact. We abandoned our own culture. Instead of transferring it to the next generation, we stopped and embraced other people's culture. That's what we have been dealing with, and that is what we are talking about. We want to ratify. Because, like we said, no culture is superior than the other. So, let me take it again. Say, the word culture means people's lifestyle and the way they perform certain things. Various group of people can have various culture. Culture is transferred to the next generation by the process of learning, whereabout biological characteristics are passed on by hereditary. In a specific society, every culture is a combination of positive and negative elements. Which means no culture is perfect. No culture is only positive. Every culture has positive and negative elements. So when the Jewish man is telling you what the Christians are doing, we don't know about and we don't care. Because that is not what they are passing down from to their children. Just like the article says, it must be passed from generation to generation. So the Jewish man is passing their Abrahamic culture and understanding, which is the 5 books of Moses or the 5 books of Torah. That is a cultural element you're seeing there. They are aware of life. They are passing it from generation to generation. They refuse to get it corrupted. So when he's telling you that Christianity has nothing to do with their way of worship, he's correct. The argument then becomes, where did this Christianity thing come? Of course, we all know where it came. It's a Greek mythology, Greek way of worship. That's what Christianity is. That portion of the Bible you call Christianity, it has nothing to do with Jewish foundation. But when it came to us, we left our own. We abandoned it. I'm not questioning blame, but these are realities of what happened to us, which has brought us where we are. Now let's look at the culture of the Fulanis that have invaded our place. That's really where I'm going. Let's look at who they are. According to the article I picked up, it says they betray little emotions. Pay attention. The Fulanis are not emotional. They betray little or no emotions. That is the exhibit. They show little or no emotions. Even in the most difficult times and even when going through immense and the most grueling form of hardship, they are focused. Pay attention to this word, because this is what we have been trying to tell you. Focus. These people are so focused like laser beam for what they want to do. Immediately their so-called leader or Messiah, Atmadamfodio, made that statement, I must dip the Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. These people have been laser focused to accomplish that purpose. That's where I'm going with it. He says, again, I'm going to tell it again. Even in the most difficult times, even when going through a mess and most grueling form of hardship, they are focused, mentally strong. Now we can see why our Lolo, the first lady of Biafra, is talking about frontal lobe. Because when you don't have a strong developmental lobe, you cannot be mentally strong. You cannot be able to critically analyze and think. You cannot be able to think about the future. You'll be emotionally weak. No wonder Mazi spoke about that a time will come in this struggle that all we have to implement is mental strength. He said even when they're facing the most hardship, they are mentally strong. They are disciplined. This is one of the things. What I'm calling out is what the Fulanis have that we do not have as a group of people. They are focused. They are mentally strong. They are disciplined. They are patient. Our Hamadike is just in the DSF dungeon. Less than 2 years. All hell has broken. Nobody wants to fall online. Nobody wants to follow the structure he has established. Everybody wants to be their own boss. Everybody wants to be relevant. Even when they don't even know what, they can't even control their own personal lives. Everybody wants to challenge the authority. Everybody wants to be the one. This article is saying that they are patient, calculating, proud, ruthless, wise, and totally unforgiving. And you have had that particular man that comes out to speak. He has always told you, Fulanis are unforgiving. We do not forget. He has said it many times on public domain. But the Igbo man will come, the so-called Igbo elite will come out and tell you, oh, we forgive you. Oh, don't worry. Oh, you are the kingmaker. Oh, we bow down before you. Oh, you have to be the one to determine. They have to go to the Sultanate of Sokoto or wherever the emir to take permission before they can even run. Even as a member of the House of Assembly in Biafra land. The reason why I'm bringing this to let us understand the characteristics of the people we are dealing with. Because there is this saying that when you understand the root cause of your disease or your problem, the problem is half solved. Because I do not believe that our people really have understood the qualities, the characteristics and behaviors of the individual of these people. This group of people, Fulanis, we have been dealing with. That is why a lot of our elites have been misled, have been bribed, have been takiad, without even knowing that they're playing the game, being the willing tools for the Fulanis to overrun us. Mentally strong, disciplined, patient, calculated, proud, ruthless, wise, totally forgiving. Some of these things were the characters and characteristics of the Igbo man we lost. Because this, we could say, describe an Igbo man, apart from the forgiving aspect of it. Before we came into contact and overrun by the colonial masters, an Igbo man was focused. An Igbo man thrived in a place of hardship and will emerge strongly. An Igbo man was mentally strong. An Igbo man was disciplined. An Igbo man was patient. Even when they were naming their children, you can see these things oozing out. Ndidikama, patience. They were calculating. They were wise. They were forgiven. That is where we differ from the Fulanis. Now, the article went ahead to say they have long memories, never forgetting a friend or a favor, and never forgiving an insult or a slight. This is what we are witnessing today. So when we are dealing with them, we think they have forgotten or forgiven. We are making a mistake. This is where they're getting our allies or elites. This is where I have a problem with this running around Obasanjo is doing, claiming that he's supporting Peter Obi, and our people cannot get it. From the interview we had with Mazi Ntabu, he made it clear to us that Obasanjo was the head the one that spearheaded the wiping away, the destruction of Biafrans through starvation. The same Obasanjo. Obasanjo's hatred for Igbo man, he has not hidden it. The same Obasanjo. Obasanjo, he wants to tell me that he so loved an Igbo man after he came through the River Rand area and ran over through Sabotwa. One of the importance of the interview we had. Obasanjo had opportunity to be the president of Nigeria twice. In what way did he try to incorporate, to bring the Igbo man, the Biafrans, into the fold of Nigeria as part of Nigerian system? He never. He had opportunity 2 or 3 times. He never even lifted a finger. In fact, he was the one that divided us, split us into more, splinters. He, Obasanjo. Obasanjo is a Muslim. Because when you hear the qualities and characteristics of Fulanis, most of them are based on religion, Muslim way of life. So he has not forgiven us. He's the same person that is coming to tell you that he loves you so much. When the movement of Biafra has heated up, he came now to be through a Munchi range. And people cannot see the movement or the plans of Obasanjo. What he has just done is throwing a monkey range into the midst of our struggle. And our people are carrying on shouting. Obasanjo is supporting people. Now, let's talk about they do not forget. And they always reward favors to those who help them out. We are seeing them in plain sight. Obasanjo continues to visit Azumini because there was somebody that did a favor to him there during the war. The Fulanis are supporting Ojikalu because these are people that have sold their people. People like Mazi, Dave Umahi, people like Uzodimba, people like Wike. But the only way they are superior to our people, even more superior, is that even after using them, they don't completely fulfill their own bargain. Because they promised these people I just invoked, bring your people to the slaughter table, and we're going to give you political position, presidential position. Where are all these people today? You think they will learn? No. They will not learn. These are the people we are dealing with. And then we look at them and say that they are stupid, they are savvy. They don't forget. Now, the article goes ahead to say, they have a long memory, never forgetting a friend or favor, and never forgiving an insult or a slight. Most important of all is the fact that they overwhelm. Pay attention here, underline here. They overwhelm and conquer very slowly and incrementally. Which is what they're doing. They don't give up. They're resilient. Because our people are waiting for when the Fulanis will come and invade us a full-blown scale of war. Pay attention here. This is not my article. This is a research article. This is scholarly article. He says, most important of all is the fact that they overwhelm and conquer very slowly, incrementally, and they do so by infiltration, assimilation, and war. Underline these three words. Infiltrations. Isn't that what we have now in IPOB? The Fulanis are sitting in their homes, the cabals, the caliphate. They are sitting, keeping quiet. Manami is keeping quiet. Buhari is not saying anything, whether he's dead or alive. And they will be quick to tell you, you are responsible, you attracted them by so actions. Just like what you referenced today, the family that we are saying that they sold hands and feet and whatever, the amount of money, whatever. How many times have the Nigerian government, the Nigerian military, even police, gone and invaded a community, wiped them out, sent them into an ID camp, burned their businesses because a policeman, an army man was killed? The NDA in the north, Nigerian Defense Academy, was invaded. Military men were killed. Was any community invaded? The answer is no. Kuje prison was invaded. Prisoners, criminals, terrorists were released. Was any community around Kuje prison invaded? The answer is no. Buhari's convoy was attacked a couple of months ago, and some of his people were killed on convoy. Was there a community invaded and wiped out and sent into exile? The answer is no. So, the argument becomes, let us look at the people we are dealing with, their values and our values, because these are the things that have shaped the way they think. We must go back and allow our own values to go through the natural evolutionary processes, because that's who we are. Because as long as we continue to parade on, work on the values of other people, we can never get it right. Our value is what has shaped us. That's what is going to develop our mental ability and capacity, not the foreign values we have embraced. I'm going to yield for now. Thank you, Mazi.
We must continue. Do not forget that we are holding our discussions on religious issues, and the topic which we have been dealing with is the pattern of upholding our values, pattern under traditional belief system. There is something I said and I want to repeat it. One also reiterated on it. If it is a takeaway, please do it today. Belief system. Belief is something that everybody have the right to his or her belief. Belief system concerns a group of people anyway. There is no belief system that is superior to others. Because why it is called belief is it has no proof. Once it has been proven, it becomes knowledge. You can use knowledge to surpass any other person. That is the reality. Because knowledge is about facts, proven facts, experiences. That is knowledge. But once it is belief, you can believe anything, I can believe anything. I don't need to convince you to believe on what I did. But what we are talking about is what molded us together as a people. That is why we talk about our own upholding our own values, our belief system right from our ancestors. Do you understand? I played a clip of a Jewish preacher that talked about what they heard from their ancestors. They never told them about Christianity. That another person will come and become a son of God all of a sudden. You understand? So I say it is not our headache. Let them argue it out. It is not what concerns us is our own belief system. Why we were manipulated into turning against our own belief system. That is a problem. Now, let me continue by saying, civilization could be achieved through civilization could be achieved through a you see that there should be changes. Changes continues constant. During maybe 2,000 years back, 3,000 years back, you see the richest person was going on chariots with golden, adorned with gold. No car. You understand? But today people are flying on the air. That is changes. You understand? So when you are there, somebody is trying to convince you into his belief system, they call evangelism. That is ignorance. Because something you believe, you don't need to even impose it. Try to convince another person. It is your own belief. You don't need. That is why our ancestors made it clear in our proverb. Onye na chiya. That is it. So when people are coming to convince you that there is this person in the heaven, this and that, do they know? How do they know? So, okay, I don't believe. Why are you telling me? I don't believe it. I have my own belief. Just as one other said, somebody trying to convince him on his Lord and personal Savior. Why? I can equally tell you my own Lord and personal Savior. It becomes a clash. We'll be arguing for nothing. You believe on your own, I believe, and we'll be fighting for something that is not proven. If you come and start explaining to me that you are a scientist, look, what knowledge? That is knowledge. It is different. That is what I want people to understand. So that we stop, rolling around, running from pillar to post in ignorance, abject ignorance, something that the Europeans has littered. They have understood that knowledge is power, that this belief system that there is what they use, the Europeans used in order to justify their conquest and killing of other indigenous people. Therefore, being pushed to demonizing our own belief system is simply an acceptance of conquest. It is because, as defined above, by that belief system is a set of beliefs or principles that help us interpret our everyday reality. That is, the definition of belief, or one of the definitions of belief. This foreign imposed Christian belief system, which we are following and defending today, does not interpret into our everyday reality of today. How can we trust olive seed and olive oil as having healing power? Why we don't have olive trees in our land? How? Is it the reality in our own land? Olive grows in Mediterranean side, part of North Africa and Southern Europe. That is the reality. But you are made, because of belief, now you relegate what you have in your land in order to go and start scavenging, paying big money, being scammed with something you believe they import and believe. Olive oil, olive seeds, we don't have it in our land. It doesn't grow. It grows in arid, Mediterranean environment. But because it is you believe, now they package it and tell you it is have a healing power. But we have palm trees, we have ube trees and other things that our own environment, our own everyday reality that we are seeing. You don't value them, do you? How can we be made to revere River Jordan, Red Sea as remarkable, while we care less about our own rivers, which is called River Niger today? We have a Imo River and every river. You see people, I traveled to Jerusalem, I went to Jordan, he brought a bottle of river that entered into Mediterranean or ocean. It become a big thing. Because of belief, what you are imposed, what you are manipulated. I say garbage in, garbage out. What you put inside, what the colonizers put inside your head is what is coming out. That is what they expect, because that is the job they did long time ago. It is high time we stop stupidity. You revere River Jordan. I have seen people that, look at this bottle, this water. Hey, River Jordan. Hey, baptism. Whereas we have rivers more with more spiritual connotations in our own way, in our own reality. But you don't revere that, because that is what they manipulate you, impact inside you. Garbage in, remember. That is it. You understand? How can we be made to believe that making pilgrimages to Rome and praying in Jerusalem makes you nearer to Chuku? Why negating and demonizing our own shrines? Is it not stupidity? Do you know how much Saudi Arabia is making? They have a ministry of pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. Do you know that? Do you know how much they are making? More than $400 billion every year, only on religious pilgrimage. Only. Because that is what their great ancestor, worked hard in order to establish. They are reaping the fruits. But for you, it is something that is, it is something that is through that you have to go. The 5 pillars of Islam. You must attend at least one time. One of the 5 pillars. You must attend at least one time, once in your life in Mecca. to Mecca. You must travel to Mecca. In Hona, Tashi may establish, Oshishina Miego. Ona many happy today. When you talk about Saudi Arabia, you think it's only oil. No. Religion is a very lucrative business. I'm telling you. It's a very lucrative business. You negate the ones in your land. No. Do you know that? Let me tell you, Muslims revere Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, more than God. The same thing Christians revere Jesus Christ more than God itself. Or I don't know itself or herself, because God is undescribable. Do you know that? Blasphemy laws you are hearing in Islam, it is not blasphemy against God, or no, it's against Muhammad. All these things is somebody, the counselor for my so that it will force people to believe by force, walk by force, that this man is a priest come from God. If you talk against him, you'll be slaughtered, even till today. That is blasphemy law in Islam. Not against God, but against Muhammad. Do you understand? Do you hear me? Is it surprising? It is not. Because it is push walk out towards it. They know that all in future for their people, and then many will enjoy. That is what they are doing today. More than $400 billion every year in Saudi Arabia, or to Saudi Arabia government. Do you know what it means? I'm going to pilgrimage. Do you know what it means? Because it's what they made you to believe. Remember, belief has no proof. No belief is superior to other. But our people are ignorant. They don't understand this. You are made to be you must go pay your ticket to travel to Rome. That is where God can answer your prayer. Aren't you ignorant? Aren't you ignorant? Look at olive oil. That is if you go to the Mediterranean side in Europe and North Africa, you see that it is the commonest oil they use in order to cook. That is it. What I'm telling you is what I know, what I see. Is the commonest thing. They go to their villages. They even use a manual system. I cannot pay olive trees, olive seeds. Now people just like that. But to you, is there something that is so, because Jesus said in the book of Matthew, take this oil. You don't know that is their own belief, because it is their own environment. That is the reality of the environment. Their daily, day-to-day living. You relegate your own thing, and you cherish other foreign things. You understand? We being manipulated into calling our fellow brothers and sisters Gentiles, unbelievers, and or pagans simply is a way of dividing us in order to side our enemies to conquer and enslave us all. How can you accept European Nicholas, Leopold, etc., who commandeered the slaughtering of millions of Africans as saints? Why demonizing our Ikumeku warriors? Wada Ikonaya, Wanedia Wugo. These are leaders of 1929 about women protests and others who fought and died that we might live. How can we continue being brainwashed into believing that Roman Catholic Pope, Archbishop of Canterbury and King Charles of England, as the head of Anglican Church, care for us more than our original Indians and also and other pre-colonial African kings and rulers that defended our interests? This is completely mental slavery that encourages inferiority complex and our continued physical subjugation. The restoration of our pure traditional belief system will pave way for the restoration of a Biafra that will be vibrant and developed primarily based on our values to prove that we are not savages and barbarians as wrongly and mischievously purported by the Europeans. We can do it through education, and this is what we are doing here on Radio Biafra London. Therefore, stop being cajoled into believing that our own belief system, our values are inferior. It is life from the pit of hell. No belief is superior to others. If somebody, what is happening in our land? Let me repeat. You see somebody will wake up, maybe he use carry money, go to buy market, to buy goods. Benin Road, the armed robbers hijack them and collect the whole money. He want to do another thing because of the Nigeria evil system. It didn't work. He will say, "No, God call me." That is a calling from God. No, anything I do, it cannot work. So I have call from God. All these things, other places, they will be calling that person as a mad person. How did God call you? How? But it's his own belief. Belief, you don't question it because that is his own belief. I said it just like a mad person going about on the street, being unkempt, soliloquizing, talking to himself. For him, he is the best, the highest knowledgeable human being. But for people that are watching him, he's mad. So when God call me, God call, he fool our land. God call me. I'm evangelist. And how can you prove that God didn't call him? And how can you prove that God called him? So you see people moving around in arrant ignorance. That person that God called, we move out and go to a better system. You see him, he will get job and start doing well as a normal human being. But because in evil system, people don't think. Today, Zito Yedeko have told you that God will bring the next Nigerian president in order to manipulate you into quietness, so that even if anything that happens, you will accept it. These are people. These are the GOs. These are mortuary attendants. I keep on repeating. They are the people that are keeping Nigerians as dead body, perfect dead bodies. Don't shake. Anything that happened tomorrow as Nigerian president, even if they bring dead body, a deaf and dumb, but they say no, it's God's will. So kill that. Everybody will say that you have said no. So no, don't disobey God. Don't question God, though. This is stupidity to the highest level. This is where I'm going to stop. Wada, I don't know whether you have any other thing to add. You continue so that I open the lines. Wada.
Yeah, what I want to add, kind of drawing down today, subject which is culture. I continue to bring this. I would let us look at, because in your broadcast recently, I referenced Amajiri, that turning our land into Nnamdi. What do I mean by that? Which is culture of these people, the Fulanis, is their culture. And if we understand what Amajiri is, I'm going to make it in a nutshell. Nnamdi is a system where the majority of the people, the elites, not the majority, the elites come together to make conditions very unfavorable to the populace by not providing the needed threshold of the population to strive. So they do this by, which create like overcrowdedness, inadequate instructional materials, insufficient. Everything that's going to make life comfortable, they make sure they deny them. That's intentional. Because they want to be the only one that matter. The only thing they do with these children, they capture them at young age, begin to indoctrinate them on how to resist the society, more of deviant behavior. Talking about believing that what they are right, using them as out their political or whatever they want. But this elite, their own children are sent into secular countries to get education. You know, I'm going to tell our people to ask, Nigerians to ask this question. All these leaders, all the Fulani leaders who come out to tell you their religion is against Western education. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. Where are their children today? Or where are they educating them? Saraki, we saw his child when he went for graduation. He was outside Nigeria. I think it was somewhere in United States. Buhari's children, where were they educated? Outside Nigerian shore, in Western civilized country. But these people will be the ones that go to these children, whom they have made their conditions poor. Their parents are poor, they can't provide for them. They will indoctrinate them and tell them they should be coming and fighting the holy war, judicious war, jihadist war, so they can go to heaven. But their own children, they are not subjecting them to that level of poverty and abjectness. The argument is, or the question is why? Because once they're able to make these children to go through that psychological trauma, poverty, lack of everything, these children now become willing tools. It will, when you look at it, it brings you to psychological trauma, poverty, lack of everything. These children now become willing tools. It will, when you look at it, it brings you to through these Fulani caliphates and cabals. After they have turned the northern part of the country to Amajiri system, they are bringing it to us. And how are they doing it? These so-called governors and the elites that they are, the cabals of the Fulani have handpicked. That is why they don't want to create any kind of development in our society. They don't want to make roads. They don't want to provide light. They don't want to provide water. Because these are the basic amenities any community needs to strive. Most developed countries are not purely developed by government. The basic thing government does is to provide these basic amenities so that the society and the people can unleash their potential and strive. So when you do not provide these things, you are making the society, you subject them this abject poverty, where all they be thinking about is how to take care of their bellies and most likely have shelter over them. They don't have time to think about what is happening in the world. The world is where it is now. They are mapping the human brain. But a typical child or a typical student in Nigeria is thinking how I'm going to go to school. The schools are on strike. They are thinking how they can feed themselves in the morning. That's what a typical child or a student in Nigeria is thinking about. Meanwhile, their counterparts in Western civilization are mapping the brain of human beings, doing exploits. Now, when you have them that place, they become a willing tool. Because I'm bringing this out because I know I'm one of those that have talked about why our people are not paying attention. We have to go to the root cause of this. And why the people will start treating them this way and they'll still go back to bow to them. A typical example is what HAUSA-SERVICE just did recently. HAUSA-SERVICE was the same person a couple of months ago that came out in a meeting, the video leaked out, where he said that that is going to invite Buhari's army to come and bombard and kill anybody they find in the bushes. That was not long ago. The video leaked. There was an outrage. And he finally carried out that action. But I saw something on social media a few days ago where the same Oji Kanu, after killing the youth in his community or neighboring communities, now came to sponsor an Igbo traditional culture. He sponsored it, where I saw masquerade and everything. The same people he killed, the survivors, are the same people that came and be hailing him now as a hero. This is a Amajiri system that brings up. I just needed to call this out because we must pay attention that the same people that are subjugating us is intentional behavior because they want our people to be subjected to abject poverty, which now will make them a willing tool to whatever they want them to do, they can use them. That is what Uzodimba is doing. That is what Umahi is doing. That is what all of them are doing. They
another way of converting everybody into Almajiri, manipulable Almajiri, so that they turn us into that traders. They always call us. Everybody. Ima ije no ogbo oshishi or no ogbo ahia ogbo ndi na-ere azụ, you know, ndị pass. Onye ọna no there na ya na ma njakịrị. Anachi customer na man jakri. There is nothing. You know, they turn our people into gossipers. Is one of it. Because when you are there sitting down, you know, when you're a man, just knows nothing intellectual you are doing. You are thinking of getting a customer. You know, you know. At the end of the day, you recha hagege garo ng'o bia taoba lafrega hiona tomorrow the same thing. Day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. There is nothing. If somebody tell you that, look, can we think? Yes, on Sunday, no work, no market. You go church. Pastor will carry his own manipulations, his own doctrines and stuff inside your head. Nothing you know. No ethics. Nothing. Oh, yes, pastor say, all that you'll be talking is that is gossiping. That is what Nigeria is turning our people. When you look at the future of us, our future in Nigeria, you become afraid. I'm telling you. I will go into a few minutes break, or we shall go into a few minutes break, so that when we come back, we open our lines so that people will start calling in. Please don't go away.
Ọ na-abọkọkọ nwa anụ ọhịa ya gakwuru ka osisi ọ kọwakwanụ mmadụ ya gakwuru mmadụ ibe ya n'ihi na onye a na-achụ ehi na-akpọku ma o ji ọgwụ ya o ji nri ya ebe nwata na-ebe akwa na-atụ aka ma isi nne ya nọrọ ya ke nne ya ga-anọrịrị ya ọkụkọ sị na ihe na-esi aṅụ mmiri lewe anya n'elu na ọ bụ ebe ọnwụ na-egbu ya na-esi abịa. Biko nụ anyị ji ohere a anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụafọ Biafra, Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB na aha mkpimkpi n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị ya nsọ na-arịọ ndị eze, ndị ụka dị iche iche, ndị ọha obodo dị iche iche, ndị ụmụnne nna, ndị ụmụnne nne nọsịkwa nọsịrị ka ha bikonyere anyị aka dịka ugwu ka anyị buru ebele. Nchọnchọ anyị mere gosiri na ozu ndị a niile bụ nke ndị anyị nọ na mọchụarị anyị na-elebere so na-akele anyị ụkwụ na-epile anyị aja na garị. Biko nụ ka anyị mara na ihe anyị ga-eme lipụ ozu ndị a, hapụkwa na ihe ndị ọzọ sochiri ya. Anyị lipụchi ozu ndị a nwanne, anyị abịa n'obi emeghakwara ama ndị sochiri ya. Anyị na-arịọ unu onye ọbụla nwụrụ na were mkpụrụ ụbọchị 3 lie ya, bịa hazie ihe niile. Ihe mezikwanara emezi a na-akpọ ya nwa mma. Biko nụ ihe ndị a na-ebutere anyị nsogbu rue na a ga-eji mọchụarị na-akpa anyị ọgba ebe niile. Ozu a dọrọ n'ihu, dọrọ n'azụ, dọrọ n'ụlọ, dọrọ n'uko, dọrọ n'usekwu, dọrọ na palọ, dọrọ na senta tebụl. Anyị na-ele ya anya. Chineke igbe ozu mana m ụmụnna ma enweghị ike iji ya mere igbe akwa ebe mkpokoro eso dị mma ma ejighị ya eme ọla aka. Unu ma ihe m na-ekwu maka na nwata bee nne ya bee nna ya amara na ihe ọ ga-ebe agwụla. Anyị arịọ unu ka unu nwee ike mee ihe ugbu a mgbe chi na-efobere tutu mmiri asọwa ọgba. Anyị ma ihe iji na-ekwu ihe a, ụfọdụ mọchụarị nọ n'ala Biafra anyị ga-emechi ha n'ihi na mọchụarị abụghị ebe ụmụntakịrị na-aga egwuri egwu, ọ bụghị ebe ndị okenye na-aga ezuru ike, ọ bụghị ebe a na-atatụ ihe n'ọnụ ma ọ bụ kwọ ngaji n'eze, ọ bụghị ebe a na-aga nlele ihe eji agba na ntị eji ya agba n'anya. Anyị na-arịọ unu ka unu mee ihe kwesịrịnụ ka ala anyị dere ji, ka obodo anyị dere ji. Unu cheta na onye ọbụla rere ala lie mmadụ o liele ozu labụ. Ihe abụọ apụle n'ahụ ka anyị nyere unu onwe anyị aka. Ihe meziri emezi a na-akpọ ya nwa mma. Anyị anaghị aba mba ma arịrịọ ka anyị na-arịọ unu ma ọ bụrụ na na-asịkwanụ na na-agaghị elebara ihe ndị ahụ anya n'otu ọ dị na mbụ ka ọ ga-adịgide, nwanne anyị enweghị ihe ọzọ anyị ga-eme na-abụghị ime ihe kwesịrịnụ, n'ihi na anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụafọ Biafra agaghị anọ ihe eri ọba anyị. Ozi a unu na-anụ ugbu a si n'aka ndị IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, na-abịara unu n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị ya nsọ.
Why you think that to borrow somebody's name and claim that is your name is acceptable unto your creator?
Okay, Daddy, so what is the plain truth that we have left and what have you borrowed?
What we have borrowed is what reflects on your hair. You have borrowed that one. In the beginning of the confusion, the Greeks came into Egypt They colonized, they stole everything and sent them to Greece. Now today, if you're going to talk about philosophy, you will talk about Socrates, you will talk about Plato, you will talk about all these crazy people. Pythagoras theorem, you have read about Pythagoras theorem in school, right? Who was Pythagoras? At the time the Pythagoras theorem was being developed, the pyramids of Egypt had been built. And it was the same theorem which was used in building the pyramids 6,000 years before Pythagoras' great-grandfather was born. So what theorem did he bring? If the Kaaba is the black rock, they go and dance around the black rock, and our people here will also put up money to go and dance around some black rock somewhere. And they said it was Abraham who hit some stick on the ground and the water started gushing out. Then you ask yourself, who was Abraham? Where was he? Then they tell you that, oh, Abraham was the same person that Ibrahim.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. At the beginning of this broadcast, there have been some perturbations, I'm telling you honestly, wumblings in my system, which I cannot understand because it is not about the internet, the system. But I will replay this, although everything is okay, but I will replay this broadcast during the week. So please, we must continue. Our lines are now opened, and our direct line as usual is +1 213 328 6224. I repeat, +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. You can call us and give us your view, although I have many calls already that are lining up. But remember, the topic of our submission is about upholding our values, and the subtopic is about belief system. Remember, no belief is superior to the other. Knowledge could be superior to other, but no belief is superior to other. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Welcome to the program. Caller on WhatsApp. Wait, sorry, let me see. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me now?
Yeah, Mazi, good evening.
There, well, welcome to the program. Sorry, hold on. Let me try to pick this call on direct line. Caller on direct line, are you there? Welcome to the program. I'm sorry that call was gone when I wanted to plug this. Don't worry. Caller on WhatsApp, please go on. Please go on.
Okay. A very good evening, Mazi.
There we
Yeah, Madam Eda, I greet you very much. Mazi, your program is always elevating. It is really it's a school. People don't know. I'm just going to add on to because talking about this. I'm talking from the point of where Madam Eda spoke about that Christianity was from the Greek religion. Yes, there's no doubt about it. That's where it came from. Because the Romans then they saw Christ as their own life. Yeah, they knew. It was what's his name? Alexander the Great that burnt University of Alexandria in ancient Kemet, which they call Egypt. They now stole all the books, University of Alexandria in ancient Kemet, which they call Egypt. They now stole all the books, worship is at Mount Olympus in Greece. Many Christians think that they are worshiping a deity up in the sky. Yes, of course, Zeus stays up in the sky. He comes down from the sky to sleep with women and gets them pregnant and go back. Many of them don't know that. Now, secondly, I encountered so many things this New Year where people were saying, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. I was just looking at all of them. So these people don't know that the beginning of the New Year starts with a deity that is known as Janus. Janus is a two-faced deity. He sees the back and he sees the front. And they use him to start their own Gregorian calendar by the Catholic Church. They now gave it January. Janus is a special deity for the Romans that they use in starting the year. And the days of the month are named after deities, just likewise the name of the month. So, Mazi, the problem with our people is that, just like as you said, whenever they go to the church, they give them garbage. It's garbage in, garbage out. They cannot use their own front lobe in their head to think, to ask questions. It's a sorry state. I feel so sorry for our people that many of them are still caged in religious ignorance. Mazi, thank you very much.
Thank you. Remember, blessed. We are all victims. The same thing. The one is to liberate yourself. What Mazi, people don't understand what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. Although many of us, like even me, before IPOB, I've been asking questions about this religion. With the experiences, honestly speaking, I couldn't understand anything, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and clarified things and encouraged, because sometimes you can be able, you can be afraid to ask questions because you'll be questioning God. Oh, you want God to strike you? Don't question. You don't question. If you want to bring common sense, it becomes anathema, because that is belief. It's what they program you to be. Caller on direct line, welcome to the program. Can you hear me now? Caller on direct line. Oh, why? Caller on signal, you have been there. Mazi, welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Mazi Akas, can you hear me? Mazi, are you talking to me? Are you talking to yourself? Please raise your voice. Mazi Akas, call on signal.
Thank you so much, Mazi Jonathan. I hope I'm coming out loud and clear.
You are. Go on, please.
Thank you, my beloved brother Mazi Jonathan. May Chukwu Kikabiyama bless you and keep on strengthening you, that anytime you come in this platform, you keep on doing the needful, and use the opportunity to say to my beloved sister, Marian Helder, we are hearing you, keep on doing the needful. Almighty Chukwu Kikabiyama is with you. And I want to use this opportunity also to ask the Nigerian government to do the needful, release our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because he has committed no crime, and his only crime is that he wants the freedom of his people. May the Chukwu Kikabiyama keep on doing the needful, that in no due time he will release unconditionally. This is my prayer, so shall it be in the name of Chukwu Kikabiyama. He said. And I just want to say, what you are saying here every Saturday, we are hearing, and we keep on doing the needful, and we keep on letting you know, because sometimes you will say, Mazi, we are hearing what you are saying, and our front lobe this time around keep on every day, keep on enlarging. And we must continue to let our people know, or to let these people who brought this religion to us, that this thing they brought to us that we want to use to confuse our brain, that now we are beginning to know our left and right. And sometimes when you are saying this thing, I don't know, I will say some people, because I know our people have come to realization that what you are saying is true. And we must continue to ask this question. Why is it the people who brought this religion to us and asked us that Jesus came to die for us, that we might have life and have it in abundance? They are killing the same people who want to have this life and have it in abundance, and nobody is speaking. The so-called head of the Catholic Church will carry on ahead. He will be there, and when they kill us, he won't say anything. But when a one Muslim man died, he will rise up and begin to speak. And when this abracadabra, it is happening in our front. When we say, some people say, hey, leave it. We are not going to leave it. Mazi Jonathan, I was having an argument with a brother. We were discussing about this issue of religion. I told him that the only way that can make our people to begin to do what we're supposed to do at the right path is any day that we should go back the way we worship God before these people brought this abracadabra to us. If not, our life will keep on, being circling in one place. He was telling me about Christian. I said, no, brother, you don't understand this thing. This is what they teach you right from from when you are a child. I remember when I was a child, Mazi, they took us to Block Rosary. Where they are teaching us how to pray Kele Maria and Egypt and Gracia. They started from children trying to impart this thing in our brain so that we can defend their religion, even kill somebody because of it. But the same people who have, done this thing to us, when we fall into trouble, they are nowhere to be found. And I was telling this our brother, I said, I called the Bible, I said, my brother, for my own knowledge, it's a fake. He said, there is one thing I have said that one must I call it a fake. I said, I have a reason. My reason is because it's not complete. Because I believe that anything that is not complete is a fake. They only put the one that is benefiting them, the one that is not benefiting them, they remove it. Why do they not put the one that are not benefiting them? Why do they put only the one that they can use to brainwash me? I asked him, do you know that the Bible is not complete? He said yes. I said, this is my reason. Because even up to today, they keep on addicting. The way it will suit them. When we say this thing, our people don't understand it. Mazi, we must keep on hammering these things. If we like, let them take what we are telling them, but a time will come, they will realize that, in Radio Biafra London, there is this our brother Mazi Jonathan and Mariam Hayden who came here to teach us the right way that we must follow. So that Chukwu Kikabiyama can be able to look us again and know that my people has come back to me. We must continue to preach this gospel, Mazi. In the thing they enter. Our people now don't the reason. People are really regaining themselves from this. For this almighty mess we have found found ourselves into. We must continue to speak. We must continue to educate our people. We must continue to let them know that don't kill your brother because of what a white man brought to you. People are saying that even most of them now know Jesus to pass every other. Some will tell you bring 500,000 for them to make your bill. Just as our brother Methuselah. Our brother Methuselah tried to challenge one criminal and call himself this idiot they were using the time of this infiltrator. Called himself I've forgotten his name. The secretary said they have to pay $200 for Methuselah to speak with a man of God. I begin to understand. Even this Jesus they told us that came to represent God. How many times did he took money to pray for people to see God? Even when they asked him, teach us how to pray. He said, pray our Father who are even including him. He has a Father in heaven that he refers to. But today, somebody can kill you because you don't pray in the name of Jesus. You begin to wonder, what happens to our people, Mazi? We must continue to preach this gospel. We are going nowhere until these things sink into the brains of our people, and most especially, let this new government release our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has been discharged and acquitted. He's staying here illegally. My name is Mazi Akas. I'm calling from Austria. May God bless you, Mazi. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
There were Mazi. Caller on direct line. Can you hear me now? Call on direct line. There were Mazi. Welcome to the program. Go on.
Sir, can you hear me? If you can hear me, I will go on.
Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. I can hear you. Oh, what happened? what is happening on this direct line? Another person just jump in. I don't know. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Welcome to the program.
I can hear you loud and clear. Mazi, am I coming out here?
You are. Please go on.
I'll do the again watching it. The cage and cage them. Ana make a leg Mwedoma. Wada Mati then the Mwedoma. I know how met the I want to issue elaborate more about this religion of issue. You know, last time there is something that let's say there's some time you caught me or you don't want to pick my call, Mazi Jonathan, because I keep on repeating that issue because I have been there. Anybody
Mazi, I don't cut you. I don't refuse any call, please. It's a big allegation.
Because after I make this comment, I will keep on calling you, no longer pick my call. That's why I said it. But nevertheless, I still stand on my ground to tell you because I have been there. Anybody that calls himself a pastor in this present time in our land, that person is a criminal. And nothing separated that person from the criminal. Because of what? A pastor is just like a Nigeria. Which we know that Nigeria is the person that gives you that name Nigeria. Know that the Nigeria has no meaning. Nigeria is a fraud. That's why they give you that name. Even them themselves, they know that you are a useless person that accepting that name. And anybody that calls himself a pastor is a criminal. That's why I asked a question last time. I asked my mother a question. Because this thing has still causing problem even in my house. My parents, they born me and brought me up in the Christendom, in the Apostolic Church, and I grew up in the Apostolic Church. I pastored the Apostolic Church in different. I went to school. Then because I live with my father, and the man taught me a lot. He told him. He said, you.
Mazi, sorry, Mazi, are you using Mazi? Can you hear me? Mazi, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Are you using earphone?
No.
Okay, just take it easy so that we'll be catching what you are saying. When you talk too much, when you draw your mouth too much on the telephone, on the telephone, it will be sounding somehow. Please, just take it easy so that we catch what you are saying. Go on, please.
Okay, my brother. So, what I'm telling my grandfather, because I stayed with my grandfather so long, the man taught me. The man is not he doesn't used to go to church or attend any other program, except he's a traditional. Now, the man taught me that his grandfather told him that when this white man came, they see how we are worshiping our God, we are close to our God, and we are doing our things. Our culture are close to us. They ask us, what is the name of the community? They say, we are the ancient people. Now, the white man now changed it to Ndibo. And we accept the one the white man call us, being Ndibo. And the same thing, systematically, they keep on changing our name, from our name to our culture, until the day the Igbo Tala fell. Now, they cut away the law of Chukwokika-Abịama, the law that guides us. They went and studied the law and began to study the kind of people we are. And they know that it will take them a long way to defraud us by this core religion. They bring this Christianity to us. Even the Bible we read tells us that Jesus is a Rome. It's the Roman Empire that called the disciples Christians. Christians are not their name. Why did they leave the main name? They answer and began to answer Christians. Then they bring this fraud to us. We accept the fraud and we grapple with it and dump our own. Now you see that comes to the village when I was little. and ebe n'idima na be anyị o nwere ihe anyị na-eme yearly anyị na-agba ekpe yearly ma ọ wee iri ji o nwere egwu m anaghị echefu echefu anyị gụrụ mgbe a bịa na-agụ ele ndị nwe okpogo ya idima all kind of culture. My father bought us George and Okpogrugu Ijiga village. But today, if you talk anything about religion to my father, even till today, I'm not in a good time with my parents because of I left the church where I was given birth to. And I'm join the traditionalists. Now it has become a problem. I now remember what Jesus says. Jesus says that he did not bring peace, he bring war to the family. Mother against son, son against mother. And that is what is happening. Now, because they reject our own and grab the foreign one, they began to say that our ancestors are evil. Every time you go to church, what we need to know is every ancestral cause. Is it the only cause that our ancestors left to us? Why these people are defrauding us? Now remove money, remove tithe and the offering from church. I ask my fellow pastors, so when you remove tithe and offering, can you still have that calling? Can God still call you when you remove tithe and offering? So many of them will and go back to farm. So many of them will retire and begin to enter into business, another business. That because pastors are eating, ministers are eating food. That's why everybody who are fasting for treasure will not join the pastor. Now you see that Yoruba people, they are not destroying their ancestral culture. No matter how you attend, no matter the level you attend, and in your ministry, you can never see a Yoruba man who enter into a Ogun or into a native shrine and destroy their altar. That is only us who know how to destroy our brother, who know how to destroy our culture, who know how to destroy our heritage, and began to implement another man's culture. Today, our traditional marriage is being done in outside country. Our traditional marriage is being done in Abuja, not longer in our home, in our land. So I believe that with this praying every day, with this nature every day, today, I believe that will liberate us from this mental prison. Thank you,
Thank you. We must continue. This is a task. It's not easy. You know, imagine what has been gabbaged in to our brains right from birth, and you think to remove it, to start removing or fixing it, you think it's going to be easy? No. You know, the most difficult, start from your family first. Your family back home, to tell them things about what for you to understand how difficult it is. But we must continue. We must continue in this disintoxication. I call it disintoxication. Steering back our people into our normal way. Caller on direct line. Callers on WhatsApp and Signal, please continue holding on. Caller on direct line. Can you hear me? Caller on direct line. Why? What is happening to this direct line? Let me see. Caller on direct line, are you there? Caller on direct line, can you hear me? Yes. Mazi, go on. Yes, go on. What is? I don't know. Turn the call and another person is this direct call. I don't really understand. Sometimes it's funny, honestly speaking. Caller on direct line. Can you now hear me? Caller on direct line. Yes, go on.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening, Heather. Good evening, Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu. Good evening, Director of State, and good evening, all members of IPOBs and also the lovers of freedom. So I am so happy finding myself to be among the IPOBians. I awesomely welcome us at today's program. Sir, I want to say something. Our mommy was saying something before you open up the line, and he built, explicitly on what's it called again, Alamajiri. I just want to borrow something. You see, when she was saying things about Alamajiris and how their lives and every one of them, deceptively work them out of knowing the truth, I begin to ask myself, am I not among the Alamajiri, I don't know how to pronounce that, among the sector of Christendom? Because when I go to the church and sit down among the congregations, and somebody sits down there at the pulpit, maybe he's drunk or maybe he's not drunk, telling me that Christ loves me. And I ask, who is this Christ? They say he's a white man from Spain, telling me that he loves me. But now I said, my brother Christ, I want freedom. And you're telling me no, I should respect the Alamajiris who are in the sector of the Muslim down here in Nigeria to control me through Britain. Then what does that make? It simply means that the idiot sitting on that pulpit is not telling me the truth. And I am welcoming everything, downloading everything in my brain. While she was saying all this, I'll begin to tell myself that it is not the Alamajiris from the Islam are the only Alamajiris. The whole 250 million population in Nigeria, they are all Alamajiris, very useless idiots who I never see before. So I am so happy that I'm learning a lot from you people, because I can't tell the discrepancy that somebody finishes school. You cannot produce toothpick. You cannot produce normal phone. And you are jumping up telling the whole world that you can speak grammar more than the Britain who bring the English language. Are you not? Are you on our own? And you can't say to P2B. P2B when any evidence, honestly, I told them to come near too much because again, to work a result of the election. I need to. But I made election. You didn't know our brother then election. Thank you, Uncle. Bye bye for
Thank you very much.
Mazi, can I say something quickly with what my brother said?
Go on. Go on.
I always like his satiric way of speaking. Now, I believe he's the same person.
Yes, of course, he is.
Alamajiris are not just the Fulani Hamaji of the Hausa or the ethnic groups in the northern part that the Fulanis have turned into Alamajiri. We have them, during this religious setting, Christian religious setting. What do I mean? Which is what my brother was saying. Yes, it's not just only the, but what I'm saying that the Fulanis are trying to now turn everybody in their own because of political conquest. But if we really want to be honest, just like what my brother said, think about this religion, this Christian religion. You will see somebody who does not even have, did not pass elementary 6, cannot even understand his own thinking, will tell you that God called me, go and mount on the pulpit, does not even understand the Bible is holding. When you listen to them, they can't even understand what they're quoting. When they make those quotations, you want to take them on argument on their quotation, they can't even expatiate or discuss it. But this individual, because he has told you that God called him, sit on the pulpit, lawyers, doctors, educated men and women will sit under the auction of this individual, consuming the garbage is throwing to them in the name of Holy Spirit and anointing or called upon. That's a form of Alamajiri. But I didn't want to go there because I'm dealing with political aspect of it. But all of them are interwoven. And you will see this medical doctor, pharmacist, everybody. You're thinking, what happened to your mind? You are a scientist. And somebody is telling you something that is abstract. You cannot even ascertain. And you're sitting there, eating it good line and sinker. And you are a scientist. that believe in empirical experiment as a statement of truth. That's what I wanted to bring him, man. I needed to say that here. Thank you.
There were, we must continue. Have callers waiting. Caller on signal. You have been here since 11 minutes. Go on, please, Mazi. Can you hear me? Caller on signal. Caller on signal. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
There were.
My name is Mazi Celestine Oba from the coastal region of Biafra, where I born precisely. Professor Madam Wada, Maria Sieda, greetings to you. Thank you, Professor Jonathan. Yes, let me quickly add my voice to this. What I want to say is one of the basic fundamental problem we have in this issue is dogmatism and the religious indoctrination. It kills more than coronavirus because it targets your frontal lobes and it destroys it completely. Because the reason I say so is once they what they concoct and they it right inside your frontal lobe, and when you consume it, it becomes very difficult for you to see the opposite. It becomes very difficult for you to be very logical in reasoning. So these are part of the problem. Far from that, Professor Jonas, if you look at this religion that we are talking about, Christianity, like you analytically explained on the course of your exposition, we were meant to understand from therein that they even kill more than the Islam that we were talking about. But how many of them we now have to take this historical fact, even when it was backed up with references like you highlighted? But how many of them will be able to take it, even when it is, like I say, it's backed up with historical fact? If you approach every average Biafran Christian or Nigerian Christian, if you come to approach them with this historical fact, the next thing they will turn you to is to say that you are Antichrist. You understand? So why does this happen? This happen because the frontal lobe has been damaged with concussion of, illusions. Yes, with concussion of illusions. So those are the problems we have. But why is it that these two dominant religions need to do everything they can do to force the religion on every other persons? It be we begin to look at it because when we have the right we have the right to any kind of religion that we can practice. But why is it that these two dominant religions tries to impose their religion on that perception? Professor Jonathan, you might agree with me that it is a conquest too, because anything that tries to use his or her own idea or knowledge to suppress another thing, another person, or another thing from adopting or exercising his own natural or organic religion, it becomes a tool for conquest, and that is exactly what it is. Because if it is not, then we would have leveled for on a neutral ground that religion, like they say, is meant for man, not man for religion. It is a thing that anybody can practice. Even if you want to worship a stone, just like our African traditional religion, which are organic to us, that they've completely destroyed it because of a belief system in Christendom and the Islamic religion. But mind you that all these things are not organic to us. They were brought and we women believe in it, not because sees the things that that were said to have been done or purportedly said to have been happened, but the one that is closer to us, we were brainwashed not to believe in the religion that our ancestors have practiced earlier before us. So you see how these things just have a great impact in our day-to-day life, and even the food we eat and every other thing that we do as a human being. So it becomes a very, very difficult issue to us to correct, Professor Jonathan. But I do not understand, but I know that it is only by what we are doing that we can go back to our origin, because everything boils down to our values as a human that was created equally like those other ones by God. So why will we have to avoid or reject our own core value while trying to promote others? Don't you think that it's a way of giving more value to what do you call it, to foreign belief system than what is organic to us? So this, it is only when people beginning to understand this that we can begin to make meaningful impact, just like every other nations in the world that also value their own organic belief and their religion, rather than adopting these foreign illusions. So that is what I'm saying, Mazi, Jonathan. We must have to, the path that you've taken is the most difficult of this our freedom fighting, but mind you that we cannot overlook it. Our Biafra will not be different from Nigeria, but we must keep on keeping on, and by this grace we shall overcome each and every one of these. Let me step down and allow some of my comrades to come.
Thank you, Mazi.
So much, and God bless you.
And you too. There were. Remember, we are talking about belief systems, which I don't see any rationale behind forcing us. We don't cultivate olive tree in our land or in our part of or the world we are staying in, our environment. Now, because of belief system, we are manipulated into believing that olive oil, which is imported from thousands of kilometers from North Africa to Europe, will solve our problems or has a miraculous values, whereas we have what it takes in our land to do our thing. What they believe might be good for them. I say there is no superior belief. What we have is superior knowledge. No superior belief. If you fall victim and feel yourself being superior, that is when you have become manipulated. That is why our people are manipulated into now importing olive oil, buying it costly. And the people here in this Spain, Italy, Morocco, Tunisia, all of them people that are not even Christians. They don't even know why their name may import on that guy here. Whereas it is of religious value or spiritual value to you because of garbage in they have put inside you. It is very sad indeed. Very pathetic indeed. Caller on WhatsApp, welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp.
Yes, I can hear you, Professor Jonas.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Please, I would like to just appreciate you. What you are doing is wonderful. Our Heavenly Father continue to strengthen you. And our mommy, I see that woman like like an exceptional human being, you know, because that woman, what she used to say sometimes are just too much to think about. I pray that Almighty Father will keep uplifting you. Please, the topic of your submission today was just too nice. And because it makes me start remembering a lot of things. I remember when I was small, I just pray that the little time I have will make me share this. I remember when I was small, I was always asking my dad a lot of questions. My name is from Biafra land. So I used to ask my dad a lot of questions. I was like, why this Abraham, that? So that made me to have one dream one day. In that dream, those things, I was not asked one question that what do I think is the greatest discovery of all time? I'm just sharing this one here. So I say that dream, I don't know how people are how told me that the greatest discovery of all time is that all knowledge is one. And anything that doesn't conform to the reality of all knowledge is one is falsehood. My brother, do you know that information transformed my life, both my spiritual understanding and everything about it? I came to realize a lot of deep truths. And most of those deep truths are the things you started revealing today, you and our mommy. When you people think about the difference between belief and what they call it, and knowledge, you understand? That like what our mommy was saying, she said that belief enhances, brings about knowledge, because when you believe something, you start pondering on that thing. Before you know it, you start experimenting that, and knowledge comes out, and that knowledge will not be betterment of humanity. Now that is one thing I want to say. Another thing I want to say is on myth and mythology. You know, as you rightly say, it's a I'm not very good. Or something like that. That thing you said is true. But we should also remember the world powers. How were they able to conquer the whole world? You understand? Like you remember Rome, this Rome are the same people that are in America. They are the same people that are in Europe. They are all over the world. And one of the strengths they use in conquering the world is religion. You understand? Because, and these people you call Romans are the people this planet, because they are a bunch of, I'm going to say this online, on air, they are a bunch of heartless people. You understand? They are so heartless that what they care is, what is the value, or how can we talk about? They don't care about spirituality, religion, or anything. That was why when this thing came to them, they had to transform it into the religion and start spreading it all over the world. That made, if you read, there is a time you were preaching to us here, you were talking about Russia. That MHNA, why in a Catholic church, say, Russia, in Russia, na marching. Do you know that I saw something in the news recently? That Russia, that they said the spiritual head of Russia advised Putin to cease fire between Russia and Ukraine. I was not asking, but I thought Mazi Jonas used to tell us that this thing, and I remember when I was small, I now discovered something, that it was not like Russia was not into any form of religion or spirituality. But I now discovered that is where this place now is a place I want to land now. And I discovered that because of the friction they had with America and to some extent Britain years back, they had to cut off anything religion, because they knew that if they allow Catholicism or this Anglican doctrine to infiltrate into their Russian citizens, that it will make the Russians to start seeing Americans, to start seeing what they call it, Britain as good people, as wonderful people, and it affects their government in the course of time. So what they had to do was to cut off that religion, Catholic, until they were able to come up with their own Russia kind of belief. You understand? All of them are always forming their own around Christianity, because they see that there is a lot of deep wisdom in the scriptures and all that. So now, as they formed everything, they were able to now bring out. They are not telling the world, like it was not from TV. They are not telling the world that a Russia spiritual head advice. You see, why did I bring this point? To tell you that, as you said now, we in this Igbo land, or in African setting, I'm not saying that we should throw away the scripture for the wisdom that I need. I believe that there are a lot of deep wisdom in it. But I think it is high time, if possible, even in this movement, in indigenous and we, in the same way, they were able to form this sector for agriculture. If they can, the same way, form a spiritual department where they can have allies both from our cultural and our native doctors, the people that went Catholic, people in Pentecostal, they can all come together to be honest to themselves and start looking like this testimony I want to give you. There was a time I was passing through difficulty. I started associating with our elderly people. They this thing they used to do. Anokata egotoji ahasina na go for we youth now will start dropping money 500, 200. They will be giving money. It was not a compulsion, it was just a kind of high college education. I was following them to give you the urging, you would talk, they will pray on the urging, they will share it. Do you believe that thing transformed my life? I have the very strong belief inside of me that it was when I started partaking of that urging, something we were praying, and that made my life change and become. So my own suggestion on this thing that will help to transform our people, if there is a way you people can come in, the scholars in Igbo land or in Biafra land can come together to both the ones from the Omenala and the ones that are into all the Christians or the scriptural ones. They can go into deep debate. The same way Russia is doing, the same way England is doing. Before you know it, they will not start coming up with a spirituality that is indigenous to our place. You understand? And when they start coming with this thing, you will see that people will now resonate with our spirit, soul, and body. Like there are some things I wish maybe that my prof, if you finish, I would like you to go through your WhatsApp message. There are some things, information I got to you. It's just an idea. If you can come, you will see that in the course of time will start influencing us as a people, and you will disengage because some of these things are baptism. It is oral meaning. This one and our communion is the same thing we do. There are a lot of things. So if our people can come at the scholars, the people say for PhD and professor, both in America, before you know it, they will come up with something that is indigenous and that is somehow in line, because if you notice the whole world, they revolve around the scripture because of the deep wisdom in it. My prof, I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And I also want to use this opportunity.
Please round up. 1 minute. Round up.
Father, I will continue to bless you, man. Thank you, and remember.
Thank you very much. You know, you raised a very pertinent point, which I want to comment about. You talked about having debates. That is what we are trying to raise. Debates. But there is something I found out. It's right from time. You see, these Christian theologians or pastors or the Jews, they are too big to debate. To debate, you know, there is something I have seen long time, honestly. They don't debate, they don't like to debate, they are too big. You know, it's a neo-colonialism mentality. Why will you debate to make sense? No, what they know is already is like that. What they believe is like that. It's not subject to argument or debate. It's a very proud system. I have been watching. You can never see. Instead of debates, they will come to shout you down if you don't believe, or you leave it like that. That is no debate. You know, we have been calling for people to, we want to stimulate this debate. You understand me? You see that when you see people, look at one of our brothers, Matthias, Igbo love themselves. They have been shouting, people cannot come to debate him. Not shouting, we're not fighting. This is about intellectualism. That is how countries develop. To debate and let superior argument reign. But these people, they are afraid, always afraid that, look, you are spoiling their business. That is number one. So they cover it up with you don't question God. So they are servants of God that you should bow down to. So no need. You are too low. Your idea is so. How can you question God that says something? Very, very proud action, way of thinking I see in them. And when you look at it, they are covering that. What they are covering is ignorance, because many things don't make sense in what they believe. So they don't want to bring out that for that ignorance, that senselessness to become conspicuous. So they cover it with whether you believe it or not. Do you see? How can you tell somebody whether you believe it or not? It is like that, and you don't have no proof. Do you see how our people are perishing in ignorance? That is it. What we want to do here is to stir up argument. We are not fighting. It is not personal. This is for our collective interest. It's not only for my interest. No, I'm not Mr. Know-it-all, neither Wada or any of us. Come, we reason together. Now you bring up a point, I ask question, I bring up a point, you add question and add their own. People will judge. Because when people listen, that is why I love it. Even here on this Radio Biafra, I challenge people, call, have opposing value. Now, but substantiate it. People will be listening. You understand? That is, superior argument. People will find out superior argument. But what I found out on these people that are so more Catholic than Pope, more Christian than what they call Saint Peter. They are too big to their ideology, or their belief is too superior for you to challenge. That is what I see. And that is, pride goes before fall. That is the thing, because they don't have any arguments. All they believe, there are no sense in what they believe. They just quote for you that standard. And Bible say, as an foolish question. What is foolish question? Foolish question, that is how they found out different things, scientific theories. That is a foolish question. Why should I throw some? If I throw apple up, why should they fall down? He said, for you, when things are, at that time, it looks like foolish question. Why will you ask? Somebody will answer you, this is natural. So why will you ask? Are you crazy? Why are you asking this question? But all these foolish questions brings out things, scientific, people to start thinking. That is what they are avoiding. Or I say all of them. I have people that are pastors. If you try to talk to them, let us discuss. We are not fighting. It's not a fight. It's not a quarrel. No. They'll divert again now. Very bad. I beg. How can you say that? We must continue. We are not stopping. Okay. Calls have been coming on direct line, but let me see. Caller on direct line. Can you hear me? Call on direct line, please go on. Can you hear me? No, Mazi, please lower your listening device. I don't know. Go on, please. Go on.
Good evening, sir.
There we go. On.
My name is Sirimen Chika from Obing Baba. You're a student. I'm a student of Radio Biafra Mazi. I greet all of you, both of you, in the media presence at this night. It's not easy for the work we are doing for your motherland. Hamadi came on Biafra land, my leader. My Ekenkroma protection. Mazi, you see, because the message is very side, they don't want people to see, they don't want their nets to be open. They know what they're doing. They are covering ignorance, as you said, and they don't want their nets to be exposed. That is why they keep on deceiving themselves. Mazi, they are deceiving themselves inside ignorance. Mazi, that's what I want to say. You see, these two cultures, Islamic and the so-called Christianity, these two cultures, why is it that they are the one driving all over the world, killing each other? Exactly in our land, the Fulanis are using the same Islamic, killing non-Islamic, killing the indigenous people in the name of fighting for jihad. Do you say that this is a weapon of conquest? Because the Christianity, the Europeans bring up our land, it was not for good. They use it to massacre our people, kill our people, and turn us to slaves. The same thing Friends are fighting now to conquer us. If I may ask, those who always claim, those that are in ignorance, that doesn't know anything, that their brain are empty, that always say that a white man brings you, make you open eyes, make you, they come to save you, they come to make you to know God, that you don't know God before. Now, for me, that are coming to kill us now in our land, bringing Islam, are they coming that they like us? Are they coming that they want us to go to Al-Jonim, which is heaven, as a Christian claim, because that is sky. Now, are they coming to save us, or they like us? That is why they are bringing Islam. Is it not the same conquest that the Europeans used to massacre our forefathers and turn us to slaves? Today we are Christian, defending Christianity, defending another man's culture and traditional way of life. Fulanis are pushing the same winning tools. Well, that Islamic religion is winning tools, while Christian religion is also weapon of conquest, killing. That was why the Crusaders was killing people in order to convert people to Christianity. But people have
they killed the people and ate people. They killed and ate people. The good news they were cannibals.
That the Christian Bible that the European gifted them, they always defend it. If you ask them to go and make research, simple research, to ask for questions, for knowledge, to know history about how come this Christianity came and why are we Christian today? And people are coming, they will never make research, only to defend. And be quoting Second Matthew say, Second Peter say, Luke say, and those people that are quoting. None of them is our ancestor. They are defending the ancestor of the European that kill us and conquer us for how many donkey years? You see why Black Africa is lower than animal as the European describe us, because our people doesn't like to listen to superior arguments or argue to learn or research. Instead, you see them shouting because nothing is in their bread. Now, in the same Bible they read, because I always judge them with what they read. They tell us that we should know join ourselves with unbelievers, those that are not the same, that are not believing the same thing that we believe, that are not children of God. But the same people will join us with the Fulani, the most dangerous unbelievers, and support them to kill us, and they are still supporting them today to kill us. You see? Now, in the same Bible, they also tell us that what divided Abraham and Lot, his sister, it was cattle herdsmen. Now, they divided themselves and separate in peace. But today, the same cattle Fulani herdsmen are fighting in our land to killing us, killing from all the way to north, and enter our land. They are killing people in our land. People are running away from our villages today. But the so-called criminal political man of God in our land, these are criminals in the whole zoo. Why are they not standing by the truth and say, this thing that is happening in Nigeria has happened before, is inside this Bible we are reading. Today we are standing because they are not defending the truth. Because I always judge them with what they read. Now they say that we should not judge, we should live with God. Now who is judging Ohamadike, the only man of God who stands by the truth? Who is judging him today? Is it not the same human being, the same Nigeria? Why did Nigeria not allow Allah or God to come and hold Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya and come and judge him? But they are the one judging him. Now, if I should ask them, who is Judge Reverend King can jail him? Is it not human being? Who Judge Obiano when he wanted to run away? Is it not human being? Because these people are criminal. If you are trying to challenge what they are doing, they will question that place that will protect their interest and start putting fear into their followers, because these are criminals. They are the same thing with the politicians that are sending police, army to go and kill their opponents. Why didn't they allow God, that God that they've never seen, to come and hold our leader and put him in detention? Today they are judging him. Is it not human being that are judging him? Is it not human being? Now, that is why I say in Nigeria, politicians that are sending police and army to kill human beings, they are the same thing with the so-called religious leaders in that zoo, because they are partners, working together. These people can kill thousands with the brainwash, but the politicians can kill few people with the police and army, but the church are gathering more than 1,000 members at the same time in one particular building. They are killing more than the politicians by brainwashing. Mazi, we must continue. We can never
of course.
People have made us to turn against our ancestors because
of course. Thank you.
In our land, it's our own God. That is our culture. Mazi, good night. I see the main chief from
Thank you very much. We are winding down towards the end of this program, but I have people that are waiting. I beg people to please make your contributions as brief as you could, please. Caller on signal, you have been waiting for going to 22 minutes. Welcome to the program, please. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you, Jonathan.
There we
Good evening, my sister Mariada. Good evening, ma. Mazi, thank you for this your topic. Mazi, you could remember when I called during this topic, when I apologized to my ancestors, whereby whenever I went to the so-called church, I will start praying fire against my ancestors. On this your program, I called and I apologized to them because I don't know what I'm doing that time. Mazi, I can remember when I was little, as your topic goes like this, for what you believe, that no belief is more superior than other belief. Yes, Mazi, that is true. I can remember when our people in my own village, when a child would be born, when they born a new child in my village, then we send the name of that child to the village. Either your parents is in a town, they will send the name of the child in the village for them to know who is that child in that particular time. Maazị, o nwere ihe anyị na-akpọ ịgụ aha. Ihe eji agụ aha ahụ mgbe ahụ bụ akwa, egg, to know who is that child. You will start measuring names.
Onye lọrọ ya ụwa.
Yes, Mazi. Onye lọrọ. You start measuring the names of people that have been that ancestors, and you will be touching the egg. And once you mention the correct ancestor came back in that particular time, that egg will broke. Mazi, yeah, but a wonderful work. Is it not a wonderful? This Christianity, they use Christianity and turn our brain upside down. Mazi, just compare that time and this time around. Which after introduction of Christianity and the rebirthing of our children and the name of Imehe baptism, giving them a strange name. Mas, that is why our society did mess up. Our society is messed up. Because I could remember during that time, all the children that was born in that time, during that process of what we inherited from our grandfathers, there is not enough crime, and what enough crime in our community, because that is our belief. Because by the time you find out who come in that particular time and what that person did during the time of his living, must have been to settle over all his case. You will see the child start progressing. You will see the child start moving forward. But this time around, that is why we are having a lot of issues. Ritualists. You will see a child that last time we saw a child that took his friend to a native doctor. He wanted to use his friend. He need money, and they asked him, "Who do you want to use?" He mentioned the name of another person. Later, the wise native doctor asked him that this person can never be used. Can you make use of your friend? Maz, that is what Christianity brought to us. We leave the main thing, the main road, entering the bush. That is the handwork of Christianity as a religion. Mazi, I thank you for this topic. And I believe that people that has ear and understanding, we know that what you and our sister are teaching us is very, very important. Thing that we need to know in our life. Mazi, thank you for this your study.
Thank you.
God bless you
and you too.
Sister.
Thank you. Caller on WhatsApp, please hold on. I think you are going to be the last caller. Caller on direct line. Welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Caller on direct line. Can you hear me? Please go on.
Yes, Mazi. Good evening from here.
Ndewo Mazi. Welcome to the program.
Yes, Mazi, Chinedu, and my sister. I thank you people so much for your wonderful program this night. My name is Judo Kafo. Judo Kafo is from Agbo. Agbo is in Anioma. Anioma is in Biafra land. And Anioma people are Igbo people 100%. Mazi, this program tonight, I so much love this program. Every time I don't listen to Radio Biafra, I am not myself. Because Radio Biafra is the citadel of knowledge and wisdom. That is why in the zoo, according to my sister, they will say, God called me. God spoke to me. They are giving prophecy upon prophecy to the zoo. None of them can come out and say, Fulani Esma is coming to this village tomorrow. Everybody come out. No. And the most painful thing of all this religion of faith in our land, you will see people in the zoo calling the God of Israel. Why the Israelis themselves, they are not calling on their God, on their father. They are busy creating things. They are busy creating weapons to safeguard them from Palestine and other enemies. Why the Christians in the zoo are praying for God of Israel to come and save them? Is that not foolishness? Is that not foolishness? When they talk about mental slavery, these are part of it. Holy Ghost fire, blood of Jesus. The people that the Bible says they come in contact with God first. The Jewish people or the Hebrew people, they are not calling on the God of Israel. Because God said, God cannot do for you what you can do for you. That's why the word that freedom is not given, but is taken. You are there praying the blood of Jesus, Holy Ghost fire, God of Israel. The Israel themselves, they are not calling on that. Look at China that people don't go to church. Look at country that don't. They are progressive. They are backing up on the zoo. Every little thing. Now God, I know I'm going to leave everything for God. You are dying there. Leave everything for God. That was how Boko Haram killed Christians in their church when they were doing night duty. They were busy calling the blood of Jesus, Holy Ghost fire. Boko Haram silent all of them, including children and men and women. Mental slavery. That is why I follow my leader footsteps. That Biafra is my religion. On here, Radio Biafra is where I worship Chukwu Kika Abiyama. Because Chukwu Kika Abiyama is my God. Mazi, thank you very much. And may Chukwu Abiyama bless you for your wonderful teaching. For all of us, we live to see Biafra in our time. In the name of Chukwu Kika Abiyama's name I pray.
We must continue. Caller on WhatsApp, you are the last caller. Welcome to the program. Thank you for holding on for going to 22 minutes. Go on, Mazi. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yes. Go on, please. But I don't know how your voice is sounding. Is it from your voice or? I hope you're okay.
Hello?
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay.
It's better now. Go on.
Yes. My name is Chinedu. I'm speaking from a location. I greet my leader, our leader, Mazi, Kanu, the man who fought war, the man who stands for the truth. Yes, according to your topic this evening, belief is more or less like somebody that is not understand where he is going. He will start talking about believing. He's just somebody like somebody can start lying as many times as possible. Just like believe. You can believe for A, another one will believe for B, another will believe for C. But one thing out of all this is that truth is only one. Truth cannot change. Truth is truth. And that's what Radio Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, was established to say the truth. And along the line, the Bible says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. As you see, Boya says, Igamari Isukwa, and they make it slow. But one thing I want to ask this evening is this. This group of people in Nigeria say they are bishops, they are archbishops, they are reverends, they are pastors, who are lying, deceiving people, collecting tithe and offering. This group of people claiming they are man of God, who are they deceiving? Are they deceiving God, or are they deceiving their members? That's the question of another day. Anybody who are defending Christianity or Muslim, Islam in life, that person, if you check the person very well. If that person is your brother, is your worst enemy, because as truth in him. Go to church tomorrow. Today is Saturday. Go to Nigeria. You will see all these criminals in the church. You will see also the in church. You will see devil of mind in the church. You will see wicked in the church. You will see all evil in the church. Dancing and praying, going to heaven. You see Satan face to face, and they are going to heaven. The same Nigeria. So what am I trying to say? Our leaders set up this platform to expose all the evil that is going on in the whole world, especially in Nigeria. Nigeria was made to be so as you see it today. Alamajiris, as regarding our sister, the statement to make today. Alamajiri was planned to be deceiving people, making people poor. British are at the head of this plan to make sure in Nigeria, those people called Almajiris, poor people everywhere. Less than 10% in Nigeria be stealing the money that they're supposed to take to develop that place together with Ethiopia, so that people in that very enclave remain prosperous. If you have the money to go and obtain visa, to run to Britain, to run to America, to run to anywhere, you want to go, so that they will have time to take everything, because they have seen there's a lot of things that God has hidden on the ground on that place. So many. So in this case, they want to use all these tactics to make sure that place remain uncomfortable, so running away. Those remaining ones, here will be poor forever. They will have mouth. They cannot say anything. That is why when somebody is a governor, he will not to Europe to buy house, to buy everywhere, and carry the money that he has stolen back to European banks and their children. People, children are there, dying, suffering. This is well organized. That is why they say one Nigeria. There is no country that is one before you call the name. Any country is one. You just call the name, not one. But they put this one is indefeasible. That is how they plant it. The worst thing that happened to Nigeria is religion, following by media before the politicians, because all these things are working together. So they do all these things to make sure that place remain non-development, so that they will carry everything, they will steal everything, they make everybody to be imagining, going with it to make food. If not Nnamdi Kanu, in next maybe 20 years, even people, many of them will take plastic and going about and begging for food, because that is the well plan and arrangement. Thank you very much. I greet my leader. The wonderful radio that when you hear it, you become a human being. Thank you very much.
There were almost a Biafra. There were Dodrege. Caller on signal. Please make it as brief as possible, because
I will, Mazi.
Go on.
Good evening, Marianeda, and to my own brother Mazi Chinedu. The reason why I called is because you've been asking this question, can you ask any of them to come and debate? You remember Onyendu was doing this Fridays and asking, ask somebody to come and debate me, ask your pastor. None of them. You know why? They know they are all liars. They are all, from A to Z, they are all liars. They lie to the people. Everything that is critically in the zoo, like doing very well, religion and the rest of them, they are tools for conquest. All of them bar none. These are the system that these guys, British, mastered over the years. And they have used it to make sure that our people are dumb. They don't want us to wake up to reason. If you find any pastor that is honest to themselves, they will tell you that these are tools that they are using to keep our people down. If they are not doing it because they are preaching to our people to repent and go to heaven, which heaven? And I want to say something here. I'm happy with this our brother that called in direct call, who called last time, but the way he spoke today shows me that he's also listening to what you are saying. The one that always a bit differs from what you are doing, or putting it upside down the other way around. He called today, and I enjoyed this call very well, because I think he understood that somebody say he's giving us Jesus, and we are Alamajiris, just all of us lying down there in the name of that Jesus that is a white person. These are something that as soon as our people wake up and realize that there's no electricity, the churches, just like somebody was saying now, all these people that are called themselves politicians, they all go to church because they know that the Bible they have and every other thing they have around there is all fake, because they are killers, they are murderers. Are we not having a good time before the religion come? Are we not enjoying ourselves before they brought this Christianity? Our ancestors have they not developed everything that we needed? Have we developed anything after they have developed Egusi Ogbono and the rest of them? What have we done in our own generation? Nothing. They have done everything. These ancestors that you are casting and binding, they have done everything for us before we even arrived. We come back, instead of paying them well, we come and be casting and binding them. One day Onyendu said this on the radio. He said, we need to go back and appease our ancestors because we have wronged them. And that is one of the basics of the problem that we are having. That everyone is running into church in order for them to try to redeem themselves. You don't know that you need to go back and ask our ancestors to forgive us, just like Onyendu said the other day. We need to go back and ask them, give us wisdom. We have failed. Mazi, no, thank you so much.
There were Mazi. There were. This is where we are going to stop taking calls, please. Wada, please, can you come in with your closing pattern shots, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, Mazi.
There were.
To everybody that listened, contributed. There's one of my brothers that spoke. I mean, everybody gave marvelous contributions. I'm telling you, firing and thought-provoking. So one of the brothers that spoke, there was something he mentioned about naming ceremony, which is what they call baptism. When I was in church, I tagged on this thing. Now, even in that book called the Holy Bible, you will never hear that a baby was baptized. Yeshua, whom they call Jesus, was never baptized. The 8 days, what happened was dedication. They can go and cite their Bible. Like man, you say they don't want to debate. They make this quotation. Yeshua was baptized. Every other person were baptized because Yeshua was baptized, was dedicated, I meant to say. Yeshua was dedicated. Everywhere in the Bible, you will see an infant that was brought to the synagogue. It was dedication, not baptism. Because if anybody wants to argue with me that Yeshua was baptized at that thing they did when they took him into the house where Anna was there. If it was baptism, there was no reason for John the Baptist to baptize him at the age of 30. Yeshua was baptized at the age of 30. Why am I invoking this? There is something our brother said, which is very, I say I must bring in. When you name a child, give a child a name. From one of the school of thought I belong to, and I strongly have, believe in what they do. The name child, or even you name anything, is the key that will open the potential of that thing, whether it's your child, whether it is your dog, animal. There was even a reason in the Bible, according to the Christian Bible, in Genesis chapter 2. He says, and the Lord created a garden and molded an individual he called Adam. The main job he gave him was for him to name every creation that was in that garden. Everything the Lord planted, every animal, said, whatever name you gave them, they shall become. They shall become what you call them. Even in our own Igbo adage, we have a saying. So, one of the, wickedness that the Christian religion, all these religions have done to our people, especially Christian religion. You see this infant baptism. That's where I'm going. They bring a child, they dedicate the child.
to the deity of this particular religion. That's number one. Number two thing they were doing, they would take the name of a foreign ancestor, not the name of our ancestors, and give that child. We begin to wonder why these grown children now are so passionate about defending this deity whom they have been dedicated to. You look at that Oswaros, is that a caste system? A kind of, because you're dedicating this child to this particular deity. I thought it was important. I'm not going to go into full knowledge I have about names, because our names carry weight on how we are going to express our inner potential. So, in my conclusion, like we have stated today, rightly stated, there is no perfect culture, no perfect religion. It's what you do with your culture, how you showcase your culture, how you develop and improve your culture is how people are going to look at it. That's the amount of respect people are going to give to your culture. The God Almighty, everybody believes there's a God. I mean, most people that are into religion or spiritualism believe there's a higher force. He did not make this world to be one culture. He made them different cultures, gave them different tongues and creeds. And through these tongues and creeds, people were able to develop their culture and values. Why don't they ask this God, why did you not make this world universal in language and culture? I don't know. I don't talk to him. I don't know him. But those who claim to know God, who claim to speak to him, can they ask him this question? Yet he's a perfect God. Because he's trying to tell us that even as we are different, our cultures are different. Before him, he originated it, he started it. There is no preference. So, having said that, culture is how you dedicate your culture, how you allow it to go through evolution and all that, is how people are going to value you. Because, say for instance, one can rightly argue that Africa as a continent, even Biafra, where we stand today, is one of the best the area that has the best climatic conditions in this world. But every day, our people are traveling to a desert area, Dubai, traveling to Europe, cold area, Asia, cold area, for vacation. I'm not even telling you about migration, for vacationing, for pleasure. The argument is why? They don't have the best climatic conditions. But because these people have taken their culture, their values, whatever they have in their places, no matter how imperfect it was, they have put in something through man's ability. They made them attractive. Today, somebody can leave from Nigeria and go to Dubai and be showcasing themselves. I was in Dubai. They forgot that Dubai was a desert. A lot of joy was put in by man, not through religion, by man. God did not do it to make it attractive. The same thing with Europe, America, Asia. Oh, I was in Taiwan. I was in Malaysia. I went on vacation to London. I went to whatever. Man made them so. God did not make it. But then draw back and look inward. We have one of the best climatic conditions. Africa in general. Is it gain reserves? Is it the condition of the climate? But because we have refused to use our human potentials to develop them, now everyone is running away from Africa instead of Africa becoming a tourist center of the world. So what are we saying? No value is perfect. It's what you make of your value will determine how people will appreciate or honor you. Thank you. I submit to everybody. God bless everybody. Good night. It's from me, Marianne Hyder. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Biafrans and lovers of freedom. There is something one of our brothers said, which I also want to ricochet. I want to repeat. I want people to reason, because here we try to stimulate our frontal lobe into reasoning, to reason, for you to activate it. Activation is what we do here. It's not that we know it all, but we at least, what we bring out, you go and start researching, thinking about it. Now, in our land, the caliphate, the Fulani, they are trying everything in order to Islamize us or Fulanize us through Islamization, bringing another religion, Islamic religion, which we didn't have in our land. I want people to just calculate down, think, or does it mean that they love us? When you reason about this issue, you now understand how the Europeans Christianized us. The reason, the motive behind it. These people, they found us so rebellious and uncompromising. They come through no way, they come in only way. So they try to gradually bring us down through mental subjugation, infusing in us their belief system, which, if they succeed, eventually we will cow down voluntarily to them as our superiors in mentality, in belief. I don't know, our brother say, Joe, whether people understand what I'm saying, that people are maybe in understanding, but I don't think that some other people are understanding what I'm saying. I'm telling you. You see what we are suffering, crying, shouting, how they are killing our people. I mean the Fulani today, the caliphate. If they succeed as they are doing, look at they built a Afiqo mosque or Islamic school, the biggest. Whether the biggest in Africa, in West Africa, I don't know. Why? Did they like us or love us? Is it out of love? No. But they want to bring us down under control. That is the only thing. So that once we turn, once we turn and become Islamized, we will gladly bring them and give them places, even the richest part of our land, to live on, in order to, as our teachers, as our Islamic teachers, those that are superior knowledge, belief. Don't call it knowledge, please. Belief. We will, embrace them and give them the best portions in our land to stay. And there now, they will start subjugating us mentally in order not to rise up against them. That is mental subjugation forever. That is what the Europeans did to us. The spread of Christianity was more brutal than the spread of Islam. People don't, when we say something here, people, people that are more Catholic than Pope might pick offense. People that are more Anglican than Archbishop of Canterbury will pick offense. But go and make researches. What we say here is true. The Jewish, they enjoyed peaceful, at least relative peace with Islam than with Christianity. Go and make your researches. Christianity brutalized the Jews in Europe. They enjoyed relative peace under Islamic control of Iberian Peninsula. Go and make your researches, please. But today, they are the people that tell you peace. If they slap you here, slap on the other side. But these are people, crusaders that ate human. They were cannibals. So, when you start reasoning that, look, these people, why they are fighting for us to become Muslims, it's not because they love us. It's not because they want us to go to another superior place or heaven. No. All is control, to be able to bring us under control. So that when you want to resist giving them ruga, they will tell you, they will quote for you surahs that tells you that you have to do it because they are the people that made us to know God, Allah. Do you understand? The same way, you know, in a military, I mean in a war, when you capture a city, when soldiers capture a city, they will now go for mop-up. You know, bringing down the little resistance that are remaining there. Once they finish, now they start trying to buy the hearts of the people there. Buying the hearts of the people there, sharing, okay, people that are wounded, civilians that we are in the enemy camp, but now under the control of the military, their own military. They will start giving them, those that are hungry, they give them chocolate. Those that are wounded, they treat them in order to buy their hearts. From there, they start indoctrination. That indoctrination can take a form of religion. You know, change, become Christian, so that, you know, now the idea of that indoctrination is for complete mental subjugation, so that these people can never rise up again to challenge them. Because you know, the enemy, the occupiers, will make sure they use the religion which they brought, indoctrinated the people into, in order to use it to be bringing them down. No, don't rise up, don't challenge your rulers. Do you understand? It is written in the Bible, it is written in Quran, do not challenge your rulers, because they are, it's God that give it to them. God give them power. So who are you to challenge them? And the people, the whole masses will go down. Just like what Oyedepo is saying today. It's like that. God's choice candidate will emerge after Nigerian presidential election by Oyedepo. So the whole people watching him on television, Nigerians all over the world and in Nigeria, and his direct congregation that are there, thousands and if not millions of others everywhere we now, and they are, it's now preparing the mindset of everybody, so that whatever the result you accept, that oh no problem, after all it's God's choice. Do you see mental subjugation? All these things is what we are trying to challenge in this struggle, in this Biafra restoration. I don't know why people can be telling, oh, no, you don't need to go there. Why shouldn't we go there? It's better now we continue in Nigeria. I copy away everything. It's better if we cannot go there. When we still remain in this mental subjugation without challenges, people, we, you know, like our brother say, our leader have been challenging people, even Nigerian politicians, religious pastors, that the Jews come, please. If he is not going to quarrel or insult you, no, let us reason. Challenge me, debate me that what I'm saying is wrong. Is so that we do it so that people will listen, because people now can discern the truth, the reality, you know, by hearing it. They can discern superior argument, common sense. That is what we preach here. But when you see these people, you know, no, they are too big to debate or to talk with you, you know, they feel too big. Oh, okay, just don't worry. Bible says so. Agama debate. And you see what is foolish debate. What is it? When you ask pertinent questions, because they walk us to the extent, the way they tie us down, so that no matter the rubbish they talk, no matter what they write and quote, you don't ask questions, so that you don't have brain. They think for you. Who are you to ask questions? Who are you to ask, challenge God? Asking questions. Well, okay, why did this? No. Are you challenging the Bible? Do you know that the Bible is the word of God? Who are you? Do not forget that Christianity, Roman Catholic Church killed even innovative people at the olden time in Europe. They burn people at stake. You know? People alive, they burn people alive. What Islam is doing today, blasphemy, the way they killed Deborah in Sokoto, Christianity did worse. They ate human beings. You understand? But may you will not know. you start quoting, no, it is not Christianity, it is this and that. But you are a Christian. Is that name you are taking? That's it. And it is through there that you get the Bible you get today. It reaches your hand. That is the reality. Let us stop this, can I call it ignorant statements? No, it is not it is not the reality. No, they are not acting on what the Bible and who brought it to you? Is it not the same people? Is it not the same people that brought you that? Is it not the same people? Then how without them doing all these things, the Bible wouldn't have reached you. Don't you know that? Had it been they allowed Jewish religion to continue as naturally as it is without Roman interference, you wouldn't have been even reading Bible. You wouldn't be a Christian today. The Jews would have continued in their Jewish religion without you knowing it, and you continue. Maybe by now, we are captured by Islam. Who knows? Or Hindu. Or we remain our normal selves, our original self. So that when you say no, these people, you see, the Bible says it's not what they are practicing, but they did all these things in the name of your religion. And they brought through them, you get the book you call the Word of God today. It is through them, through all these atrocities. So you cannot deny it. Do you see why we talk about common sense? Why people don't want to come up to debate? Instead, that's why I love our leader. People know we are not quarreling. It is not personal. After all, you are not the owner of Christianity, neither I. It is not something personal. So why will you take it personal? Come out, call and give opposing statements. No problem. We will cool down. For what? Belief is the same. No belief is superior. Knowledge can be superior because it is proven. No belief is superior. That is why somebody will rise up and in our land and say, God call me. Okay, God call you, clap for you. We are my dear. Or was I there when God called you? you narrate how your ordeal, how you revelation, how if you put hand into this business didn't go. Okay, it is your belief. What we are talking is that how this foreign religion is harming us as a people. It is killing us. When, as I say it before, when the military conquer a place, now they start indoctrination. That indoctrination is to keep the people in that level forever so that they will never challenge. They will never rise up. Do you understand? But we being stubborn, we challenge. You see, even I give an example with the Jews, the Israelis. They had it been they didn't take back their country in 1948, we wouldn't be giving the example with them. They have been rising up right from their conquest. Even BC, going to 3,000 years, they have been under conquest, one conquest or the other. But it doesn't mean that they were not making efforts. They were making efforts. They were making efforts to rise up. If they rise, the conquerors will bring them down and slaughter them. Until they start dispatching, moving out of their land, scattering all over the world. I'll say this thing, I don't think that's okay. But what saved them is that they held the teachings of their ancestors. That is what helped them to reorganize in this modern time in 1948. That is the truth. That is the truth. Let us, without going back upholding our values, we are in a mess. Think about the future, how we will be. Therefore, we must continue in what we are doing. Thank you for listening. Biafra is our religion. Biafra is our identity. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, together with one other Marian T. Heather, it is simply good evening.